We're here.
Still don't know how to fix the
we're
weird color grading.
Two different cameras right now. We've got him there. We got him on the normal camera and me on the Twilight Vampire camera.
Joey, those guys are all, really sexy. People all over the world love them so much.
I suppose so. I'm not sparkly, though. That's the problem.
People still fill entire archives of their own with those characters.
AO3, is that what they call that?
Beloved horny characters. We were talking about what's going on with Patrick right now.
Yeah. Like, we just booted it up, and I was like, what the
We
hell?
watched he's here twice.
Oh my god.
We were talking about freaking...
it's also so low res, too. That's the best part.
We were watching the new Starbomb music video like 2 minutes ago, and then I turned the PlayStation 5 on. Smash! Smash!
Yeah, it's looking like my current PlayStation profile picture where I was like, how low res can I get this image?
Who can say?
Hello, everybody.
It's not for you to decide. Oh, man.
On this lovely day.
Yeah, we're, I don't know how much time is left in Alan Wake. Not a ton, so we should be able to polish it off relatively quickly, and if we have a little bit of spare time afterwards to talk and hang out, that's fine. We're also going to talk and hang out a little bit beforehand.
Have you really been playing Descenders?
Yes, I have been playing Descenders
All right.
these last couple of days. I'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
I do not have 14 hours in it. PlayStation 5...
It lies.
It
It's
lies.
not- it's not
just
real.
untrue. This says I have 118 hours in Helldivers 2. I do not.
That might be real.
Well, no, I can. You can see like what your in-mission time is in
you
this
can?
game. You can just there's a menu. You can see it. Now it is going to be an embarrassing number.
But not
I mean,
that
we can go
number.
find out. We can go find out. No, we
Oh,
can't.
no,
Never
we
mind.
can't.
Never mind. We can't
Whoopsie.
find out. Helldivers 2 has to update. We're not finding out. No, I've been playing Descenders. I will talk about that maybe a little bit. That was even if we just spend time, if we beat Alan Wake quick, and and it's going to be a while before we have to stop.
Yeah.
Because our stop time is kind of soft today. Or I guess it's a hard out time, but the time is not set.
Correct.
It is. I guess I don't think I told you the details specifically because it was actually pretty funny. Aiden and her man are going to a bridal shower, and I was asking, what time. She's like, I think she said like 2:30 to 4:30. But she said, I don't know how long we're gonna stay. This is one of my boyfriend's friends. I have met this person twice, and one of those 2 times was in Walmart 5 days ago, where they remembered to invite us to.
Awesome. Cool.
So they might stay the whole time. They might stay an hour afterwards and talk with people. Who knows? I really don't know. But they're coming over here afterwards, and we're gonna hang out, and we're not gonna do it, but we're not gonna do a show. So I'm gonna try to rush to finish Alan Wake a little bit, but I do have some news I need to talk about beforehand. I'm gonna give people a few more minutes to populate. Hopefully some people show up. But we have something really important to talk about before we delve into eldritch abominations in the world of the Pacific Northwest. Joey, you reached beyond the veil yesterday around noon.
Are we getting into this right now?
I say let's talk about it right now while we're sitting here. We don't have to worry about Alan Wake being stuff going on.
Well, all right. So first off,
did you write notes?
Well, no, I've got.
Oh, you have your tickets.
I want you to tell me what this says, Jacob. What does it say?
Did you not go see it, or no? It's just a misprint.
What do you mean?
Okay, Joey has a ticket to an AMC Theaters screening of Alien Romulus, which hasn't come out yet, right?
No, it has.
It came out yesterday? Okay.
It did, yes, but okay.
Oh, I remember the strat now. All right,
I don't know what you're referring to.
I remember
but first,
now.
As you can see,
you went to see Alien Romulus.
It's in Theater 7. I went up there and I said, hello, I would like a ticket for Alien Romulus. And they said, sir, yes, sir. But
I remember.
They didn't have somebody to check my ticket, and I'm an American, and I'm mostly illiterate. And this says 7, Theater 7. When you think of 7, what do you think of? You think of 7-Up. Where do you get 7-Up? You get it at 7-Eleven. What is the other number in 7-Eleven?
11.
Correct.
And that was the theater.
I found my way into Theater 11 by total accident. And by the time I sat down, stricken with heat exhaustion, I could not get up, and I just had to watch whatever it was.
And what was it, Joey?
It turned out to be the Borderlands movie.
That's such a weird coincidence that you saw the Borderlands movie without giving the Borderlands movie any money.
I know.
It's such a weird coincidence.
I love Randy Pitchford, and I love supporting him and giving him money, so it hurts my heart that instead I gave it to Alien Romulus by accident.
Which is apparently, I was telling you earlier, all I heard about it was it is the Rogue One of Alien films.
Whatever they mean by that.
I heard there is a CGI revived dead actor, but I didn't hear who.
I don't know. Maybe, in another timeline, we'd be talking about that now. But instead, we're talking about the Borderlands
If you hadn't made that mistake,
movie.
you might have walked
If I
into
hadn't
Alien
made that
Romulus
mistake and just
instead.
been exhausted and hadn't broken my legs and...
Can I say I want to say one thing about Alien Romulus. I was talking to you about this like a month ago when that trailer came out.
Yeah.
And I didn't even watch the full trailer, but I saw the 5 seconds before you can skip on YouTube or whatever.
Sure.
There's a shot in the trailer where the characters are running down a hallway and there's 30 face huggers chasing them and jumping at them.
When I saw that in the trailer, I just was like, oh, come on.
It's like, no.
But it's like the director that made that is, what else has he done? He's done some other things that I like that I'm like, well, maybe he'll do good.
I don't remember who it is. I'll check right now.
Yeah, go ahead right now. But yeah. But I didn't see that. I saw Borderlands.
The frickin'
directed by Eli Roth, who did not do Romulus.
I just think, the entire reason that the original movie is a masterpiece is because it is about the process of learning about an alien thing and the unknown.
Yeah.
I saw somebody a little while ago on Twitter say something about the scariest thing in the original Alien is the space jockey. Because it's this, it's long dead. We don't know anything about it. It's just there. And these truckers who aren't scientists just stumble upon it and have no idea what they're looking at. It's just this otherworldly, briefly glimpsing the face of God.
I saw it at the 45th anniversary of it this year. I saw it in theaters again. I was like, wow, almost this entire movie holds it. The only thing that doesn't hold up is at the very end when you get to see the full body of the alien. It's very clearly
it's a guy in a suit. Yeah,
it's very clearly that. And the thing is,
the part of the movie that doesn't hold up the most for me is when the one guy gets killed in the vents, and there's just the shot. It spins around, and the alien goes. that part.
Yes.
That part's silly.
It is silly, but not as silly as the end. But it's also they knew that limitation. That's why it's so good. Is because they got the suit and they're like, this looks garbage in motion. Mm-hmm. So they're like, well, let's just obscure it the whole time.
But
great.
But I just I was thinking about no. The space jockey is not the scariest thing in the movie. The xenomorph isn't as scary because you know about it now.
Yes.
Now you know its powers, you know everything about its biology. The reason the original movie was scary was because none of it made any sense.
I mean, it's in the title.
Yeah,
Alien.
Exactly. And so the fact that you can now go, look, a face hugger. I know what that is. I was talking to you. I was like, you were talking about the fact that in Alien 3, it pops out of a dog and it's different. The whole point of the xenomorph is it takes on the form of whatever it incubates in. So we could see new and different aliens.
Yes.
My thing is, I want a movie that's you can keep the effing Weyland Utati, you can keep the Space Marines, you can keep the setting, new alien.
Yeah.
New horror alien.
Well, they tried. No. They didn't try to do that. They pretended to do that
with Prometheus.
Yeah,
they pretended.
Prometheus and Covenant.
As Tim Allen said once in Galaxy Quest, we pretended, we lied. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's all I want to say about.
Anyway,
Romulus.
we're talking.
Borderlands.
So instead of talking about a good movie, we're going to Borderlands robot.
Borderlands outfit. Borderlands is so cool.
Among Us. Okay. So first off, I need to convey something. I need everybody. I need you to look into my eyes. Look into my pale-skinned eyes right now. Okay. This is not this is not a thing you go to because, oh man, this sounds so bad. I got to see it. It's boring. That's the crucial takeaway from this.
Okay.
That's the reason it's bombing so hard. It's the reason why it's got a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. Originally 0% and slowly climbed.
0% for 1 second. It was really good. It was iconic.
0% for 1 second, 3% for most of the day.
An iconic rare loot drop on Rotten Tomatoes.
It was 0%, 3, 6, 9, and now 10%. So if we give it enough time, it'll be a masterpiece. But we're not there yet. But it's it is boring. It is visually boring. You can't even really laugh at the movie. It's because hardly anything happens. Most of my reactions were groaning. That being said, some people obviously liked it because in the theater there was one other couple there, and every time Claptrap opened his stupid mouth, they were he did the poop joke, the bullet poop joke from the commercials, and they were giggling. I'm
Yay!
You people are not old enough to be giggling. You should know better, but whatever. They're having a good time, and who am I to take that away from them? Mm-hmm. But it's the movie is bad when you see this. Okay, there's an internet phenomenon that I see very rarely, but it pops up. It's remember when Sonic Boom came out, and then like Sonic 06 apologists started popping up. He's like, this is a really bad one, but 06, man. I've been seeing Monster Hunter movie apologists pop up because of the Borderlands movie. They're like, dude, like the Monster Hunter movie though, it's like they had the weapons, they had them. I'm like, who are you people? Go do anything else. Get off the internet for a little bit. Where do I even start with the Borderlands movie? It's like, let's think of, positives. Okay, positives.
All right, positives.
Biggest positive that was a genuine surprise to me. And maybe I missed it, maybe I didn't catch it, but it's like, I don't think there's a single outdated reference in this. I don't think there is a single indated reference.
Sure.
There's not a lot of jokes in the movie, despite it being Borderlands, and I'm being
for
real
about.
There's not a
lot of jokes.
I'm being for real about that. There's really not, but it's like there's no like Elon Musk jokes or video game stupid jokes or anything like that. It's like
Videosity 1. There was a Borderlands movie. It started an international incident in China.
Monster Hunter.
Sorry, what did I say?
Yeah, it did.
I said Borderlands.
You said Borderlands.
Okay, no, Monster Hunter movie. Yeah. It started.
It wasn't an international incident. It was they made a joke that was very offensive to some Chinese folks, and they got it pulled out of China. Did I say Japanese? Oh my god, I'm screwing
Chinese
up.
people.
Okay, they made a joke, something about like
Chinese.
There
was it was God. I don't even remember all the details of it, but it was specifically like it's in like the first 2 minutes of the movie. It caused mass walkouts across China that caused them to pull the theater.
Which is really funny because this is one of those movies that they made
for the Chinese market.
They made it for the Chinese money. And they didn't get the Chinese money, and it flopped hard.
In the actual like language, the character in English, which is what the film was filmed in. I don't remember the joke. Someone says like, "What kinds of knees are these?" Chinese. And I didn't remember what the set. I don't think there was a setup. I think it was just so unfunny. The guy just like said nonsense.
Yeah.
But the way that it was translated, and like Chinese cultural stuff made it sound like they were saying Chinese people get down on their knees in the dirt and suck dick.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It was something absurd, but it was really funny because it got pulled out of the theaters in China and boy. Monster Hunter, that's another movie that's like, this is mostly just boring. It's not worth watching.
But we're here to talk about Randy. Sorry.
But we're here to talk about
Randy
Pitchford. No, it's fine because it's like anytime that I'm not talking about the movie is good.
So no outdated jokes.
But yeah,
so there are no jokes in the movie, and that is a positive.
They do well. It's they have like most of the time it's not jokes. Most of the time it's just this thing happens, isn't that funny? But it's like there's not a lot of like outdated references, which is crazy for Borderlands. It's like we haven't gotten that since Borderlands 1,
right?
And maybe maybe Tales of the Borderlands. Good Tales of Borderlands, not the other.
The good one. The other one is the they took the Mario direction. It's the new Tales of the Borderlands.
Yeah, okay. We're not
movie. We're talking about the
movie. Okay. Well, that was one good thing. I had two good things. What was it? I had 2.5. I had one that I described to my friend as like a broken thumbs up. What was it? It was the casting choice for the character Marcus. He doesn't really sound like Marcus, but he looks and his mannerisms and accent, and it's like, he did a good job.
Okay.
I don't know who you are, but good job, guy that played Marcus. A character that shows up in 2 scenes.
I was going to say, he's in the movie for 30 seconds.
Yeah, he's in the movie for 2 seconds, for 2 scenes. And I don't think the writing was worse than the writing of Borderlands 3.
Okay.
So... But once again, it's like that's more. If you played Borderlands 3, that's not saying much, But it's like I'm not saying that it was competent in any capacity, but it was like I was more miserable listening to Borderlands 3 than I was watching this movie. I guess.
Well, Borderlands 3 is also like 50 hours long.
It is. It's true, and they will not stop yapping, as we were talking about earlier. But it's like okay. It's like okay. Let's talk about. The story there, it doesn't matter. It's everything that happens. It's just scenes happening to get to the end of the movie. Let's talk about characters. They're all bad, especially the villain. Borderlands has had a real problem with villains because Handsome Jack was great.
JG points out, funny to me how Cate Blanchett is now connected to Borderlands and Monster Hunter because of Tar.
Because of what?
You don't know about Tar?
Tar?
Okay, never mind. We're not going to go any further on that one. We're not going to go any further on that one. Continue.
Okay. It was also,
I thought you might have known about that. But
funny thing about Cate Blanchett is when the movie first came out, I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes user reviews, and out of all the negatives, I saw one positive review that was like, I like Kate Blanchett and she's in this movie.
On your friend's movie night list. Trust me, put this film, Tar, with Kate Blanchett, put this on the list for dice roll and don't look up anything about it.
Okay, will do. Will do. I'll put it on there right now. That's the wrong one. It's the wrong list. We have two lists now, but one is the watched list and one is the list to watch. Okay. Let me pull the thing back up. But it's like, talking about the villains of Borderlands, it's like, they struck gold with Handsome Jack and that's it. It's like, Borderlands 1, raise your hand if you even remember the antagonist of Borderlands 1. It was I don't even remember her name, but it was a military lady.
I now know about her because I just watched K-Bash's video.
Yeah, military girl from Atlas, I think. I don't know. She's there. You don't even fight her. She just dies. Some spoilers. Who cares? Whatever. You don't play Borderlands for the story. But it's like, they struck gold with Handsome Jack, but it's like...
Is Handsome Jack the villain in the movie?
No.
Who's the villain in the movie?
Yes.
There isn't one.
No, there is. He's horrible.
Okay.
I don't remember his name, and I don't even remember which company he's a part of. I think it's Atlas again.
Okay.
He's like the CEO of Atlas, but he's like he's got no Riz. He's got no presence. No Riz, no presence. It's horrible.
The drip bleak. The Riz con.
Well, his drip is average.
Okay.
But everything else, Riz, everything, motivations, whatever, garbage. He wants the vault, whatever.
Everybody wants the vault.
Everybody wants the vault. Okay, and let's talk about the story in connection to the games. There is none. It's weird. They took Borderlands and put it in a blender and picked out certain pieces and made it in the movie. It's like, because it's like, this is Borderlands 1 Lilith, kind of, but it's not really. But also, she's much older now because Lilith is 20 and Kate Blanchett is 55. Roland is there, who is another playable character in the first game, played by Kevin Hart. In the first game, he's kind of a joker, whereas in the second game, he's a hard ass. Yeah. But in this one, he is also a hard ass. But he's played by Kevin Hart, who just occasionally, he never smiles or anything, but occasionally...
He and Jack Black are both there because of freaking Jumanji.
Jack, yes.
Because it's all
sure.
box office calculations.
For sure. Handsome Jack as Claptrap is miserable. I like Jack Black, sorry. I like Jack Black, but
Handsome Jack is Black Jack.
Black Jack.
Jack
there's
Black,
too many
Jack.
Jacks, and there's only one good one in Borderlands.
Peaches.
He's miserable as Claptrap, but it's like, what are you gonna do, right? But
you can't make Claptrap.
He doesn't sound like himself at all, though. Like he doesn't really sound like Claptrap, and he doesn't really sound like Jack Black. He just seems like he's like a foul mimicry of both, and it's just miserable. For the first 15 minutes of the movie, I wasn't like, oh. For the first 15 minutes of the movie, I was like, this isn't the worst. And then Claptrap got introduced, and I started like getting a headache.
Good. So Joey, the plot,
and
of
then
the film.
Tina started talking. Yeah.
Oh, Tina is in it. Okay, good.
Who was not in? Sorry. Let me continue with this weird timeline thing. Okay, two characters from the first game, kind of a setup of the first game, but then you have Tina, who only shows up in the second game, but her role is completely different, but her personality is the same. And then Krieg is there, who's a DLC character from the second game, who has no story presence at all, and doesn't come back until the DLC for 3, which I don't even know his involvement, because I didn't get the DLC for 3. I shouldn't have even gotten the game.
Who is Jamie Lee Curtis playing? Is
she plays
a real character.
Yeah, she plays a real character named Tannis, who is who's a character. She's a scientist from the first game, and she's fine, I guess. She's a little more...
like a big cloud just came over the house, and like there's enough natural light in here that it really just like completely shifted.
There was a lot of Jamie Lee Curtis cleavage in this movie, but whatever. I just thought it was an observation at the end of like when we were all talking about the movie. Somebody brought it up, and we were all like, "Yeah, there was a lot of that for some reason."
So generally boring.
It is generally boring.
No jokes.
Not really.
How's the action?
Bad.
Okay. How are the performances?
Bad. Well, I say bad. It's...
How are
Kate Blanchett's a good actress. There's another element that's also really weird to this, where it's... all the locations they go to are in-game locations throughout the various series. But it's like... they have to look at the camera and say, we're going to Caustic Caverns, because they go there and you would never be able to guess.
So regardless of its connection to the games, production design, how do the sets look? Because
No.
the one clip I saw was like this, like the ugliest. It was when he does the farting bullets thing, and then there's a shootout immediately afterwards,
Yeah.
which I was.
That's in Caustic Caverns, and for everybody that hasn't seen the movie, you shouldn't see the movie, but knows what Caustic Caverns is, and you're like, well, I've seen that scene and it doesn't look like Caustic Caverns, you're right.
But regardless of the connection to the games, movie just ugly?
Yes, it is ugly.
Special effects.
The special effects are bad. Early in the movie, I was sitting there thinking, like, what I was seeing, I was like, if this looks like a YouTube fan film, that I go, this is pretty good for some fans making it, right?
That's what you want. That's what you want.
And this was kind of also the same problem with the Monster Hunter movie, where it's like the costumes they look really cheap or whatever, and then you see all these people that are like, well, look at this professional cosplay, they did good. And it's like, you can't do that for the entirety of the thing, but it does look bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's also they do this thing a lot where it's like the action shots, because Kate Blanchett is the protagonist and she's 55. A lot of the stuff where it's like, oh man, explosions are happening and she's having to slide down, it very obviously cuts to like CG models. It's like you don't see the face or anything, but it's like the movements are uncanny, and and that happens like early in the movie, and it's awful. I felt so tired.
So Joey, for the
do I have
raw,
anything else written? I don't think I do.
The raw experience.
The raw experience.
You didn't give Randy any money.
I didn't give him any money.
You
Thank
bought
God.
a ticket to Alien Romulus instead, which when the reviews come out for that, you may regret that as well. But it's going to make money, so you're not contributing.
The original plan.
You're not making the world any
The
worse.
original plan was to give money to Harold and the Purple Crayon, but it's out of theaters now, so it didn't plan out that way.
God, that just reminded me of the funniest thing. There was a Twitter account that's like the Harold and the Purple Crayon film like fan account.
Okay.
It's obviously like a
of course.
shitpost factory. Hold on, I gotta find the freaking post.
Yash Kapoor says, "Wow, is Borderlands 3 that bad?" Sort of. It is. It's hard to call the game bad because it is the best feeling Borderlands game.
Damn, he dropped the shtick. Guy changed his account to be a Harold and the Purple Crayon fan account. He's changed it back now, but the posts are still here. Harold and the Purple Crayon opens with $6 million domestically. Film managed to gross lower than 8th box office weekend of Inside Out 2. Someone retweets this guy who, for a few weeks there, was the Harold and the Purple Crayon to the moon fan account, right?
Yeah.
Hold strong, Herald heads. This is how they try to break us. They try to make us feel small, to make us feel alone. But we're not. We're not small. Our imagination is our power, just like Harold in the film. We can fight back. But then he posted a few days ago,
What?
Harold has tragically passed away at age 43 following a fentanyl overdose. His passionate creativity and lust for life will not be forgotten. And then he changed his account back to his normal account.
Amazing. No, to briefly talk about Borderlands 3, it feels the best in the whole franchise. It's the worst to experience with your ears of people talking in the entire franchise. Genuinely, I had more fun playing the game when I turned off subtitles and turned off voices.
We were talking about there's a reputation around the game, and a little bit driven by some bad faith criticism that we don't need to get into.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, the writing is so much worse.
It's not so much worse.
The writing
is
is
so much more.
Yeah, the writing is not necessarily any worse than Borderlands 2. The problem is that the one well-written character in Borderlands 2, or I guess the best-written character, the most iconic, and people remember the most, was Handsome Jack. And he's the antagonist who's in your ear mocking you all the time. And it really, really worked. They tried to replicate that in Borderlands 3 with a character who is not written as well but talks just as much, if not more, than Handsome Jack did. And when they talk, when it's bad, it feels like they're talking to you 5 times more than the good. But
it's like, even when it's not them, it's there. You cannot play a moment of that game without somebody yapping in your ear. Mm-hmm. It's awful. But also,
Dean says, it's okay, Joey, because the Minecraft movie will save the industry. That's Jack Black.
It is Jack Black!
And Aquaman.
Oh my god. Okay. I feel compelled to talk about Randy Pitchford's copium about this movie. This game.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's wrap with this, and then that'll be the end of the Borderlands talk. I think
there really is not much more to say. It's like there's not a lot of jokes. It's just every time somebody opens their mouth, it's like, especially if it's Claptrap or Tiny Tina, but anyway, he said. And this was like a day or two after when it was like 3 to 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. Randy Pitchford was like...
Randy Pitchford, possessor of child pornography.
Well, no, it was just...
He was holding that for a friend.
For a friend. He said... So what you're saying is you like what my friends and I do with Borderlands video games even more than you like what some of the biggest and best cast and crew filmmakers on the planet have done. I'm super flattered. We're working extra hard for you on what's next. ... It's
so funny if they never make a fourth game and he gets fired. That reminds me of freaking... When oh god, what's that son of a gun's actual name? I'm just remembering him by like his like screen name, Lord British. That was before screen names existed. His pen name, Richard Garriott, the guy who made the Ultima series. He did a Kickstarter like 10 years ago for another Ultima game. I never heard that much about how it came out. I think it was like,
sure.
It was a little late for an Ultima follow-up. But in his Kickstarter video for it, No, it wasn't. It wasn't the Ultima game. It was some other Kickstarter. I think it was a medieval combat game that never came out. Don't remember what it was. I think that was It wasn't the Ultima thing though.
Sure.
But Gabe Newell had a cameo in it as a blacksmith, and he's hammering away at something with a crowbar, and he hits the thing 4 times, and then his line is, "These things, they take time," and that was like 15 years ago.
That's funny.
Though apparently they're making a new game.
Yeah, apparently.
They're making a hero shooter / MOBA, and it would be really, really funny if they came back with their first game in 10 years, just as everybody else is trying to catch up to Overwatch and sucking at it, as Overwatch doubles down into suckage, and Valve releases a good hero shooter / MOBA.
That would be crazy.
With no battle pass.
But come on, Jacob. But Concord, though.
The Concord?
The Concord, though.
Freaking, I don't know if you saw this, but it was a couple months ago, Valve said we're dropping battle passes from Defense of the Ancients 2 because, quote, almost nobody ever buys one.
No, I didn't.
So, I mean, like, I was talking about this with Joshua about, like, is that like statistically representative of the entire market, or is it like, maybe those players skew older, they've been playing Dota for longer, they're PC gamers versus like your Call of Duty Warzone player or your Fortnite player. I don't know, but Defense of the Ancients 2, even though we don't talk about it a lot, like is, when I say we, I don't mean you and me, I just like generally, it's a game that's sitting over there and being a huge deal. It's like people our age don't talk about Roblox, but that doesn't mean it isn't, like ludicrously massive. It's like, okay, is that just that pocket, or is that actually representative, and is all of that, like, is that not even doing well, like, for Fortnite and Call of Duty? Because I really do feel like, I've not played a lot of games with battle passes, but every time I have, I'm like, I'm really fine with the percentage of stuff I'm getting for free from this. There's nothing in here that I feel like spending $20 to get. Yeah, and you have the opposite problem as well that I've talked about. It's like, because they gave it to us for free, a few of us still play like Battlefield 2042. It's like, that game sucks, but what are you gonna do? Play Battlefield 3? You can't, loser. They took it down. But it's like, there is not a single item I've unlocked in that game that I have like actively equipped or anything, and I never pay attention to challenges, and I ignore the battle pass because it's like, I don't care about any of this stuff. It's like, it's all visual nothing to me, because it's like, there's a million things, and it's like, it'll be like, the battle pass, you've unlocked this blue skin for this weapon. It's like, I don't know what class of weapon this is. Yeah. I don't know what class it's for. I don't know what it does. It was a different ballgame when it was Call of Duty, and there were 5 guns in each category. And there were 10 skins. And you got skins by using the gun. Yeah. Not by randomly rolling, and you got it for something you never used. It's really funny because it's like, I think, and this is the boomer in me, but it's like, I think back to Modern Warfare 2, and so you get killed by somebody with an intervention with fall camo, and you're like, wow, they're good at getting headshots. Meanwhile, I play whatever one of the ones that came later that my friends drugged me into.
It's like I get killed with somebody that's using like dark matter or something, and
it's
I'm like,
well, they spent a lot of money.
It's like they either spent money. It's like, oh, they modded their account. Cool.
That's
it's
also
like.
true.
I had a modded Call of Duty.
To be completely
account
fair,
on
original Modern Warfare 2 was also the beginning of like, is that real or is that modded?
It was, but it was less about gun skins and it was more about like, oh, they're 10th prestige and they have this icon. It's like, okay,
yes, that was the greater tell than them using fall. Yeah,
it was, but it was like their skins were recognizable at some point. But it's like now when you have 50 skins and 30 DLC. Or sorry, I'm being generous.
30 battle passes.
When you have 30 regular skins and 50 battle pass skins, and it's all like random how you.
This
get
has also been discussed recently with like freaking Marvel Rivals is actually a third-person game. So it's like, what's the point in getting a character skin that you never see? In a first-person, if it's a first-person shooter, you never see what you look like anyway. So what does it matter?
So I think the worst version of that ever was rest in peace Gundam Evolution. You were kind of cool, but you sucked at a lot of stuff. I do miss you though. But that game, one of the loot box items that you could get in that game were gun charms, but there was no kill cam and there was no game win there was
no play of the game.
There was no play of the game or anything, so it's like you would never see a charm on a gun like that anybody else used. Never. That's just for you. Oh, you unlocked the gold quibbly to put on your gun? It's like, who cares? You're gonna see that.
Gold quibbly, isn't that the character from season 2 of Smiling Faces?
I guess so. It's also a weird hand floaty big shoulder pad funnel Gundam thing.
Okay.
Sorry, not Gundam. It's Xeon.
Can you unlock the windmill Gundam in that game?
I wish. We need a G Gundam game. I need. You sure you'll get Burning Finger, but I want Tequila Gundam, from Neo Mexico, which is a giant sombrero in space.
We need that.
We need that.
I think we need that app back.
Every time which admittedly I've only played like 3 Gundam games, but every time I'm like, give me something from G Gundam, please. The only game that I've ever played that had G Gundam suit was the demo for what was that? Maxi Boost On was the demo for that game. That's the only game I think I've ever played where I physically could not figure out how to play it at all. Because I was bad. Anyway.
But so before we hop into Alan Wake here in a second, which is going to be really funny because we haven't played this since April and I won't know any of the buttons and we're at the finale of the game. So it's going to go really, really well and I'm not going to die even once.
It's going to be funny.
I do have some channel news that I want to run through with all of you guys. I don't really want to make a formal update video about this. At some point I probably will have to, but right now there's still enough question marks about specific timing and what it's going to look like. I just don't. And also, you may have observed by looking at the channel, I don't have time to make videos right now. I'm very busy with work, and I got a lot of stuff going on, so I haven't had a lot of time to work on videos. I do hope that I'll be able to get at least 2 more episodes of the Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough out soon, because they are mostly done. Episodes, whatever the next 2 are. The second of the 2 episodes is done. The first one has a section I need to basically redo. You'll see whenever it comes out, and I cut them a while ago, but I've just been too busy, and I haven't had time to finish that. But it is a minor item, so hopefully I can get it done like in afternoon this coming week, and then you guys will have 2 episodes. I don't know when there's going to be more necessarily. I'm just really, really busy with work and other stuff going on in my life that I can't talk about. I will say this though: we finished filming the Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough 2 weekends ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it wasn't last weekend. Yeah, it was 2.
So we finished shooting the entire playthrough. Obviously, there's still quite a bit left to edit, but it is shot. I have the footage. I haven't backed up the footage yet.
Yeah.
So I need to do that.
You do.
With
how prevalent technical difficulties are on the channel, we don't need it anymore.
Need to back that footage up, but we did finish it. It's done. We beat it. It'll take a long time to crawl out, I'm sure, but it will. But before I address like more stuff going forward, I do need to talk about a long-term situation with the channel, which is in the near future, I am going to be moving away from where I am currently, and I do not have the kind of clout to drag Joey along with me where I'm going, nor Aiden. Now, where I'm going to be back here semi-frequently in my parents' house. I'm going to be back and forth a little bit from where I am moving to back here. Work stuff will take me around. It's a long story, and I don't want to get into it anyway, even if it was a short story, because it's not your guys' public business. But I'm moving away. This is not the end death keel of the channel, but obviously, I haven't made a lot of stuff recently. It's just been very difficult for me to get the juice in me to make stuff recently. I've got a couple of things I've been kicking around big time for video essays or even talk to camera stuff that I would like to work on, but I haven't had time. Now, if I get a second wind at some point in the future, maybe even after moving, if I can pick things back up again, if the channel picks up again in terms of viewership and whatever else, in general, I'm not making any commitments about where any of this is going to be in the near future. This may be kind of the end of how this stuff is. This may be the end of how all of this is going to work forever. It may be just the beginning of a new chapter where things get, reorganized a little bit, and it all looks a little different. It is not going to be the ending of doing stuff with Joey and Aiden necessarily, because there is always this thing called Discord and recording stuff over long distance.
And the blood pact has not been fulfilled yet.
Well, the blood pact was for Sonic Forces.
You're right.
We never referred to this one as a blood pact.
You're right. But it is basically a blood pact.
We have said, unless one of us dies, if there was a formal decision that the channel was going to end forever, we would shoot a Sonic Adventure 2 playthrough before that happened. And the nice thing about that game is we could shoot that on a weekend when I was back in town.
That's true.
Now, of course, it would be nice to do a fuller playthrough and do some of the extra stuff and not just blast through.
I would love to really sink my claws into it.
But I mean, that could even be, I'm back in town for 2 weeks or something. Because again, there are going to be times when that's going on. Exactly. So this is not the ending of everything, but it is going to make, I would say it's going to make shooting a Final Fantasy VII Remake full playthrough harder, but that took us a year and a half, so what the hell, it doesn't matter. It might even be easier to be like, hey, I'm going to be back in town for 1 week. And it's going to be in a month. Can you guys arrange your schedules to be available during this time? Plus, again, Discord exists.
Exactly.
Like Aiden and I have talked about, now that we've beaten Final Fantasy VII Remake, she and I have talked about doing just playing 7.
Sure.
Not even necessarily for the channel, because we literally already have a full playthrough of the original Final Fantasy VII with Joey and I from 10 years ago.
That was the beginning.
I think that would
be research runs, even though it wasn't on research runs.
I think that would be a little redundant to do again, and to take up that much time and spend all that time editing. So it would be one of two options. It would be A, we would stream it, so I didn't have to worry about the post-production on it. Or B, what is probably more likely is Aiden and I will do it over Discord just for fun, because she liked Final Fantasy VII and she'd like to know what happens next. And I will record it and maybe release highlight compilations. Stuff you see nowadays, where Twitch streamers will upload, the 40-minute video of their 10 hours of streaming a game, right? Something like that, of big reaction moments and interesting commentary and stuff like that. And I'm not committing to that. I'm saying that if she and I do go through the game, that's probably the format you guys would see it in, would be just big moments. But even if we never shoot anything ever again, unless I really, really lose steam on all this stuff and I just stop making YouTube videos, period, which could happen depending on what happens with my life going forward. But assuming that doesn't happen and I still keep making stuff, we've still got quite a bit of content just waiting in the wings, because we've got the entire rest of the Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough. We've got the Uncharted 4 playthrough, which I've talked about in the last Alan Wake stream, I believe. The problem with that is the next episode is the one where we lost footage. And I'm going to have to figure out a way to deal with that problem. It's part of the reason it took so long for me to start editing the Uncharted 4 playthrough was because I did not have the stamina to even think about how to fix those episodes. Yeah. When I did get the stamina, that was when I started editing it, and it took several months to get to the episodes where I had to have that problem, and I didn't have the stamina anymore. So I would like to go back to Uncharted 4 at some point, obviously, and polish that off. It's been 7 months since the last episode came out, and there There's more game left than you might expect if you've never played the game before, but we're past the halfway point on it. Obviously, I want to go back and finish that, and it would be fun to do Lost Legacy, because I do think Lost Legacy is neat, and that is a game we could shoot in a weekend. It's like less than 10 hours long. It's a little bit longer, or maybe the same length as the original game. It's pretty manageable.
Gotcha.
So we got the Uncharted 4 playthrough sitting around. We've got the Final Fantasy 7 Remake playthrough now shot. We also have one secret playthrough that I'm not talking about yet. It should have come out way sooner, but the plan was it was going to release alongside the remake playthrough as soon as Uncharted 4 was done. But of course, Uncharted 4, ain't done, and it haven't had any movement on that in 7 months. We shot another playthrough last summer. It was a one more attempt after Uncharted 4 Aiden wasn't available for the final session. It was one more attempt at doing a full 4-man LP. Me, Joey, Joshua, Aiden. I'm not going to say what the game was. I'm going to say the plan was Joshua was back in town for a decent amount of time after he finished with college, and we knew he was never going to be back in town for that long again, so we decided, why don't we try and squeeze one more 4-man LP in before we lose the opportunity to do this forever. We almost pulled it off.
Almost.
We were very close to beating it in the summer, and then I got COVID.
Yeah, even if you hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to. It was a intense week.
I literally, whenever that playthrough comes out, I still haven't watched it, so I don't know how it went, and I was like almost unconscious throughout it. But there is one episode that is a Jacobless Joey, Aiden, and Joshua episode, and I'm looking forward along with you guys to hearing that, because basically I realized I'm getting really sick right now, and I got up and just like went and collapsed somewhere else for 40 minutes before eventually going like, guys, I can't do this. We gotta stop. And then I tested afterwards and was positive. So then we polished off the playthrough over when he was back in town, Joshua, that is, for Christmas, last Christmas. So that's done. It'll come out whenever. There's one episode that is like an hour long of going through like basically a dungeon in the game that was so we also had technical difficulties on that one where we lost audio for several hours. Yeah. We had the video and we just went back and like retaped over it, which means we lost a lot of funny stuff, but we did, it wasn't as catastrophic as the Uncharted 4 playthrough. Like, I have material I can cut.
Yes.
But one episode we shot, you couldn't get there quite as early. Joshua was out doing something. Aiden came over and she and I shot the episode, and we spent like maybe 70% of the episode talking about the Writers Guild strike, which is now going to be year-old to 2-year-old news when it comes out.
Awesome.
So that episode might become a bonus episode. It's like, you don't need to watch this one. But anyway, point being, of all of this, don't exactly know what's going to happen. Channel isn't dead, and I would say it's going to slow down, but obviously it's already been plenty slow. It's been like 2 months since the last FF7 episode, so don't know exactly what's going to go on with that, but wanted you guys to know, especially if any of you give us money on Patreon. I mean, I think at this point, anybody who gives us money on Patreon is doing it for love of the game and not because they expect a lot of stuff, because I just don't get stuff out there that often. But that's the situation. Want to let you guys know what was going on. Let's color your night.
I knew it. I felt it in my bones.
Turned down a little.
I listened to that on the way over here, and I was like, oh, I gotta finish Persona 3. I'm there. I'm like 85%.
You gotta finish it because you gotta play episode Aegis, right?
I don't know. Do I want to?
No,
I don't.
It's still gonna be
the same thing. I never beat the answer though.
I mean, it might be more fun to play.
I got
this
filtered
time
by the answer because I was like 30 floors in. I was like, man, this is boring.
Dude, I was watching the trailer for it, and I was like, okay, well, maybe, better production value. But then I saw, like, look, there's Junpei and Koromaru being like, don't hold back, guys. And I'm like, oh, right. This is a game where everybody fights, and none of them meant it except Yukari, who was being stupid.
Don't say that the Yukari fans are going to come after us, the defenders.
That whole thing falls apart when it's just like, it feels like a what if Dante was evil thing. That's Devil May Cry 4. I'm like, oh no, Dante's evil. It's like, oh my god, what if
What the heck?
what if the seas all fought? It's like, well, no, they didn't matter.
Who cares? Whatever.
All right, but
you know, you do it for Igus. I was thinking, literally,
you do it for Igus.
I was thinking
the best Persona
I was thinking
character.
about the image I saw where it was a Venn diagram, and it was like mascot, waifu, protagonist, and she was in the middle. It's like, yeah.
You were having a conversation about that last weekend about
Were we?
No, we were talking about Persona mascot characters.
Yeah, and
with
yeah,
Aiden,
yeah.
and I made a comment about Igus kind of qualifies as the mascot character for 3
But-
initially, but she evolves way out of that.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, well, Koromaru, it's like, well, he's good.
He fits. He's
good
in
for
the
it.
sweet spot. He is the mascot.
They should have given him the Gatling gun, like in the concept art, and the eye patch. That was cool.
Alrighty. Well, that's that, gamers. We're gonna play Alan Wake now.
Yes,
I
we
guess.
are. Let's go. It's gamer time.
I don't know how much time is left in this, but I can't imagine it's even more than 2 hours.
It's gamer time.
Oh, you got the
I got the-
mythical
I got the-
Java monster, oft mentioned, never seen.
Yep, it's right here. It's not cold anymore, so it's not good, but it doesn't need to be
You had it in
good.
the fridge, didn't you?
Yeah, it didn't
You took it out of the fridge an hour ago.
It wasn't even cold when I took it out.
Oh,
It
okay.
just it was perpetually
The fridge is
warm.
probably turned down a little too low.
This is once again, I don't like coffee, but I like this Monster coffee. I like my coffee like I like my men. I don't really like it, but every 2 years I give it a shot to see if my opinion has changed, and it hasn't yet.
That's a good one. I like that. Did you come up with that, or did you take that from somebody?
No, it's real.
right,
I
all right,
drink
got it.
like every 2 years when I go to a hotel. It's like I'm gonna brew some coffee, and I'll take a sip. I'm like,
No, I meant, did you like? Is that a quote from somewhere?
No,
Did you-
it's
okay,
not.
all right, that was the question. All right, now it's time for presumably boss fights and the ending of the game, and I'm not ready at all.
who cares? It's better this way.
Last time around, Alan jumped out of a helicopter. All right, I remember how to do this at least.
Oh my god.
Oh,
we're
I
just
thought
in.
I beat this encounter.
I thought you did. I think you did, and I guess it didn't. count.
Okay, is this dodge? That's dodge. Is this flare? No. What is?
What do you have, flares?
Hold on. Oh yeah, it took all my equipment, didn't it?
Oh yeah, you don't have a gun right
I don't even have a gun. I just have my flashlight.
Awesome.
And no batteries for it either. It's not good. It's not good. In fact, I would say it's bad. Where's sprint? Where's sprint? Oh, that's not
God.
sprint. It's not hold down the stick. What's sprint? Right, I forgot. It's you have to dash into the sprint.
Oh yeah.
Now I
that
remember.
goofy ass animation.
Sometimes he dashes into the sprint, sometimes he doesn't. Just depends.
Yeah, you mentioned a helicopter, and I was telling you last night because it was movie night. It's we saw Borderlands, but that was a little bonus. We still watched our regular movies afterwards, and
Oh, yeah, I haven't heard about the actual your Russian roulette movie night yet.
the first movie of the night had.
I see a thermos.
Do you?
Coffee.
Oh,
Do something about the chain for the door to open.
but the first one I was telling you about how it was a. We were talking about filming like the shootout of what was that movie in LA?
Heat.
In Heat. And it's like they just got on the street and did that. It was like in this one they just had a guy dangling off a helicopter like flying through like buildings and stuff in LA, and that was Sam Raimi's Darkman.
Ooh.
That movie kicks ass. That movie is so good. It has
Whoa!
It
Spooky, so spook!
It has probably like I laughed so hard at the last 4 seconds of the movie. It's got my favorite like ending
Damn it,
4
no.
seconds ever. Darkman is
Oh shit.
it's an early Sam Raimi
Alan,
film
please.
starring Liam Neeson
I gotta remember how to
as-
play this.
as a superhero, an anti-hero, Darkman,
Oh my god.
who is
Yeah!
just kind of a guy who. It's funny because he doesn't really have powers. He's just like
Come on. Okay.
he's just kind of crazy because he
This
gets
is gonna go really well.
set on fire and blown up and cast into the ocean. But
I see you.
but
That's gonna explode, maybe?
this isn't this.
That's empty.
I'm just
There's no
gonna
explosive
bring up
barrels,
what
though.
I love about the very end. This isn't really any spoiler. It was just really funny to me. Because his whole thing is that he can he makes artificial skin and can like disguise himself or whatever, right? Because he's like a hideous burned freak.
Okay.
Which I was telling you, usually on movie night we try to link all the movies together, and we were able to link them all together,
including the Borderlands,
including
movie
the border
freaks.
by freaks. The movie has freaks in it, and the reason that we did that is because the second movie we watched was the 1930s movie Freaks.
Okay.
But at the end, the last 4 seconds of Darkman is.
You said 1930s was Freaks pre-code.
Was it what?
We'll talk about that in a second. Finish talking about Darkman.
Freaks, the 30s movie, they had a bunch of quote circus freaks film a movie, and it was like a big deal because it was like, you got like the bearded lady, you have some little people, stuff like that. But the last 4 seconds of this,
or as Randy would say, midgets.
Yes, of course, as Randy Pitchford would say, for 2 games until the Australian team took over and renamed them. But the last 4 seconds of the movie, we love it when they say the names of movies in the movie.
In the movie,
like
we all love it. We all love it when they have to roll
we
credits.
were waiting for him to refer to himself as Darkman, right? Which I think he does at one point earlier in the movie or something like that. But at the very end, he's being chased into a crowd, and they're like, "Where did he go?" And he has disguised himself as Bruce Campbell. And then he calls it, and we're like, Bruce! And then he's like, Peter's dead. I'm Darkman.
Yeah!
And we were going ballistic. We were so happy.
That's excellent.
Great. No, that movie rocks. I love Darkman. That was my favorite movie of the whole night. Our 4 movies of yesterday were Borderlands, Darkman, Freaks, and then Clockwork Orange.
Okay. Yeah, Freaks, I got it.
Freaks, yeah. So, really was at first it didn't feel too much like a Russian roulette kind of night until we got Clockwork Orange for the last movie, leaving the house at like 2:30 in the morning after watching that. That was a doozy. That was a doozy.
I actually remembered the buttons okay on this.
And it was a masterpiece, but Darkman was the clear winner yesterday for me. That shit was great.
I love that Alan can jump. It's so good.
It is.
People don't jump in video games.
It's also Liam Neeson. I've never seen Liam Neeson in a role like in Darkman, because it's like, I think of him as like the Taken guy or whatever, and it's like he's like a kind of like a freak. Well, he's a freak, but it's like
a different kind of freak.
He is. Darkman's signature move that we determined was just people going, "Where is he?" and then him like falling from the rafters, like with his hands out, like he's about to eat somebody. It's just funny seeing Liam Neeson doing that. Shoot the red barrel.
Working on it.
Also, it's not worth. I'm not. This is not turning back into the Borderlands thing. It's not worth mentioning specifics of like nitpicks, because it's like you could make a 10-hour video about Borderlands movie nitpicks. It's just not worth it. But you saw that barrel and it's like, oh yeah, the explosive barrels in that movie don't look like the Borderlands explosive barrels.
Well, you were like what, 2 years ago? You were like, look at this gun that is not the gun from Borderlands.
That one was extra funny because that's the Infinity pistol, and it's the one that Lilith uses for the majority of the movie. But it's like she doesn't really use it like a machine gun like it is. She uses it kind of like a revolver for most of the movie. But it's like whatever. Once again, it's like there are so many things wrong with the movie that it's like you don't have to rely on nitpicking. You can just pick at like the actual stuff that's wrong with the movie. There's also another. Oh god,
there's so many.
I can't,
Alan, please.
I can't keep talking about it, but I'm gonna say one more thing about it. That was really funny. Is at the very end of the movie, there's amongst the goons, there's just one enemy, and it's like, oh, it's that guy. And then in the credits, it's listed as Crom. And it's like, wait, that's not Crom. And I looked it up, and Crom is just a goober from the first Borderlands game. But in this movie, he's wearing the helmet of a guy from Borderlands 3. And it's like, these are separate characters, but it's like, his only identifying factor was his helmet. Because the guy Crom is just a guy. He's not recognizable in any capacity. And so it begs the question of like,
why bother to make him Crom?
Why? Yeah. I was like, what? Why'd you give him the mouthpiece helmet? But it's like who cares about any of this crap? That was the entirety of that.
Who cares
movie.
about Borderlands lore?
Who cares about Borderlands?
You know, Joey. You know, you're asking the real questions.
I said that literally yesterday. I put in Tales of the Borderlands on my wish list so that I can get it when it goes on discount because I've only ever seen the first 2 chapters.
Oh, you've never seen the whole thing?
Mm-mm.
God, I was rewatching stuff from the ending of Tales of the Borderlands just 2 days ago after I watched that K-Bash video.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh man, this is so good. I didn't know you hadn't seen the whole thing.
I hadn't.
Oh man.
I know.
Oh man, it's. I mean,
I feel like the last time we talked about Tales of the Borderlands, it wasn't even finished yet.
It might be the best Telltale game.
That's
and that sounds weird because, like, obviously The Walking Dead is, like, actually, like, an effective, like, emotional story. And I thought the Batman ones were okay.
Okay.
The Batman ones were interesting because you can go through, especially the second one, you can go through and also The Wolf Among Us is really solid. The Wolf Among Us, I remember really liking when I went through it, but now I could not recap the plot to you to save my life. So that makes me think it might have been weaker than I thought it was at the time. I need to go back through it. The Batman seasons had some cool choices, and season 2 was neat because it was possible to go through that and almost never put on the costume.
Right.
You could, if you wanted to, like, engage with it almost entirely as Bruce Wayne, which I thought was really neat. But anyway, let's see if I can remember how to play this.
Foxy and Manbird YouTube says, "What is this game? Is it horror?" Not
really.
It's got like a...
It's horror flavored. It's not really scary,
exactly.
though.
It's like it pretends... I say it pretends. It has the skin of a survival horror without really being survival or horror.
And here's a new song from a band that they always remind me of our...
Like it has elements of horror, but the game's not scary.
I couldn't tell you why.
It's not trying to be, though.
Yeah, one of those things. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Here's
What?
Poets of the Fall.
The Poets of the Fall is a real band, and they are the band that provides the Old Gods of Asgard music. He just said, here's a new song from a band that reminds me of those local legends, the Old Gods of Asgard. I don't know why. Anyway, here's a song from Poets of the Fall, their latest single, War.
Awesome.
All right, I was wondering why there was a radio right before a combat encounter. It's because I'm supposed to turn it on and listen to the music during this.
Is this copyrighted, though?
Possibly.
Oh, well, I guess we should keep yapping.
We should keep talking during it, yeah.
Oh, man, we can pretend we're Borderlands and keep yapping. Oh, man, dude, yeah. Poop, the meat train.
Please stop talking.
Okay.
God, that was 2 seconds and I was done with it. And I got to put up with that for 30 hours to beat Borderlands.
Oh, man. Not if you do my method of Borderlands 3 playing of just turn off subtitles and turn off turn off voices.
Come on, guys,
but even
come get
that
me so I can
doesn't
shoot
work.
this
As
thing.
I was telling you the other day, where when I was doing that, I was running into issues where I was like, is the game is it bugged? Because the game is a little buggy and there are missions that are just screwy. But I was like, is this a glitch? Why can't I progress? I was like, I don't get it. And then I realized it's like, oh, it's been 2 minutes, but they're still talking, and I can't go through the store until they stop talking. It's like, I just want to shoot. I just want to loot. Randy, I want to shoot.
Randy, please.
Randy, I beg of you, please stop beating the Claptrap voice actor long enough to let me shoot. Please stop going to medieval times and dropping off your
the board you were holding on for a friend.
It's like a magic trick, Jacob. He's a magician.
He's a magician.
Jacob.
He made the charges disappear. Sorry, I just almost made you spit take your coffee.
Oh, if it was water, I would have spit take, but I was like, I don't want to get false.
So I thought
coffee.
I wouldn't get you because that's in the K-Bash video, and I thought you might have gotten far enough to hear it, but I guess it still got you hard.
It did. It did. Oh man, we love Randy Pitchford. We love Randy Pitchford in this house. I used to have a post on my phone that had like all the Randy Pitchford misgivings from years ago.
Come on. Okay, I gotta remember how to play this. Holy crap. Why am I doing so bad?
You just have to get good.
What tech did I lose?
What tech did you lose?
What tech did I lose?
I don't know. Use flares. You did.
I guess I have 16 batteries, and I'm trying to conserve them, and I shouldn't.
You have
be.
16 batteries and 20 shotgun shells, so it just goes nuts.
I keep forgetting you need to be managing multiple guys to, like, slow them down as they're approaching you. I think that's the main thing I'm losing here. Whoa, okay, that worked.
Yeah, you got Luigi's Mansion them too. this isn't. I don't know what made me think of this when I said Luigi's Mansion, but
Stop spinning around, Alan.
But I've got a new video game that I haven't played yet.
What video game is that, Joey?
Because a dear friend ordered a game off Amazon and they gave him 2 copies, so he gave me a copy of Pikmin 4 for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, you gotta. But the problem is you gotta pull out your Switch.
Right? I've
actually been playing my Switch a lot recently because I've taken a couple of trips recently, and I spent most of it playing Hades actually, but I played a couple of other things. I wish I was playing more Tactics Ogre Reborn, but I'm hard stuck with the frickin' numbers. The frickin' Matsuno numbers game is never fun. It always hits that point. But I've seen people talk about, like, oh man, the sales numbers for TTYD Remastered aren't as strong as, like, they're lagging a little behind Origami King's pace, and, Nintendo will take the wrong message, and then what if Brothership sells way more because it's coming out around Christmas time? And I'm like, yeah, number one, TTYD. It's a weird thing. They released Super Mario Legend of the Seven Stars remake Christmas time last year. They released Thousand Year Door summer this year, and they're putting out another RPG, Brothership, Christmas this year. Mm-hmm. So they're sandwiching it between 2 games that are probably going to sell better, which is probably going to be used as an excuse to kill Interesting Paper Mario again. But another factor in maybe the sales not being fantastic, they're fine. Like, it's been like 2 months and they're a little under 2 million. Like, it's not terrible. It's just not what you would hope if you're a Paper Mario mark like I am. But the other thing I think is just people aren't buying Switch games as much because they're like, it's been 7 years and Switch 2's coming out in a year probably. Yeah. I think people just like aren't excited about Switch games right now. Yeah,
and this is my own fault, but another thing for me for the Switch is my current television.
That was the wrong button. Damn it! All right, did have a misinput.
My current television has horrible audio, and it doesn't matter because I don't watch TV. I play my PlayStation on it, and my PlayStation I use a headset, so it doesn't matter. But the consequence of that is when I do play Nintendo Switch games, like the audio's horrible, and it's like the audio's horrible, and I'm a very social gamer, and that doesn't mean I go on Call of Duty voice chat. It means when I'm playing anything on PlayStation, the majority of the time is I'm chatting with somebody. It doesn't matter, and I know that's kind of a weird concept to a lot of folks, but it's like that's just how it's always been. It's like it doesn't. It's like unless I'm playing like Persona 3, it's like if I'm going through the story stuff of it, I want to do it myself. But if I'm dungeon crawling, it's like I'll be chatting with somebody playing, the new football or whatever. But
oh, by the way, we were talking about football earlier, and I totally forgot. John Madden biopic announced with Nick Cage stars as John Madden. Yeah, Joshua sent me a text about that at midnight, and he said, Joshua sent me.
Reload your battery.
I'm gonna read the exact text that Joshua sent me at I think like 11:30 at night. Jacob, I need you to open your mind. Is it open? Good, because I'm about to explode it all over the wall. Nicolas Cage is John Madden, and that was how. And I had to Google it because I was like, is he fucking with me? Then I Googled it and saw it was real, and I sent him this image. Which I will not share with her. I could. It's just it's a picture of it's Mitsuru from Persona 3 Reload's render with her mind being blown.
It's you ever see that picture of like the I don't even know what you call them on Apple, but it's like it's like a boar head emoji that's like a bomb is coming out of its head because mind blown. It's just that, but Mitsuru from Persona 3. Oh, what the? Oh, man.
Stop!
Oh, Mr. Cage. You were really good in long legs. We've considered for movie night having a Nicolas Cage spot where it's just
there's just a slot for Cage.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. Right now, the only slots that we've got on there is we've got a Tarantino spot, and we had I don't know why we ended up doing this. We had an Insidious spot, but we're still. I think you said you're that's almost done. You're almost free of that. It's true, choice. But the thing was, damn. It was like every 2 weeks we were getting an Insidious movie, which is kind of why it became that. But we haven't in a long time. But it's like, listen, in games of chance, that's just what happens. For instance, Bill and Ted has been on the list for almost half a year now, and we still haven't rolled it. And every time we roll that dice, I'm giving my energy for Bill and Ted. Because I want to watch it. I hadn't gotten it yet. So it is what it is. But that's the nature of these things, you know? Mm-hmm. It's the nature. Listen, I'm a gacha game player. It's the nature of chance.
You know, I thought this wasn't going to take all that long, but the rate I'm going, we're going to be here 6 years.
It's true. It's all good.
I thought I saw a thermos. I did see a thermos. All right, gang.
All right, gang?
Yeah, I'm just we beat that encounter.
Oh. Okay. You had recent. Let's see. You were going to talk about a game that you played recently, and I was going to talk about a game I played recently.
But I
don't remember what was your game.
I think you were asking about the Senders.
Yes, I was asking.
If I'd beaten this fast and we were like hanging out waiting for Aiden to show up before we quit the stream, I might have just put on Descenders while we were chatting, just because it's like a nice.
Well, you still never know. You might get super gamer powers.
Yeah, I might beat this quick, or we might even have to stop because people get here, or Aiden just gets to join in for the last like hour of this and wonder what the hell's going on.
That's true. Well, I played a Metroidvania recently because it was free on PlayStation.
What did you play?
I played a game called Ender Lilies. It is.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh, he walked. Oh.
Oh my gosh! It's the Heavy Rain.
Interesting. It ain't. Oh my God! I totally forgot about that sequence from Heavy Rain.
I don't know how you could. I don't know how you could forget about anything from Heavy Rain.
God, that just activated some neurons in me, dude. That was crazy. How'd you do that?
What can I say?
How do I get it? Okay, so there was a page. It was taunting me, but I can't get to it.
Can you crouch?
No, there's no crouch in this game.
Can you, like...
I don't think I can dodge through it.
But what if you tried?
I don't think so. Don't think that would work.
I see. No, I played Ender Lilies. It's a indie Metroidvania, and I had a lot of fun with it. It's not as like fast and responsive as something you get with like Hollow Knight or like Metroid Dread, but it kind of doesn't need to be. It's slower pace, kind of works for it. This is gonna sound like I'm a real gamer. I was like, when I first was playing through, I was like, well, I think this is like on the easier side of things because Dread and Hollow Knight are very difficult. I was like, well, this is like an easy one though because it's slow. And then I had a friend like start the game and could not beat the first boss and gave up. I was like, okay, well maybe this game is a little difficult, but it's a lot slower than those games. But it's like it kind of does its own thing. The main appeal of that game is it's got a gorgeous art style, and Millie does the soundtrack for the game. Millie is a group that has done... I need to pull up their discography. I've not played or watched a single game that they have made, but I've come across the soundtracks, and the performances are very distinct. And I'm always like, oh, that's a Millie song. And I remember when I booted the game up, I was like... I remember I was in the party, I was like... Oh, is this going to be like one of those games with like a kick-ass soundtrack? Who did the music? And I saw Millie. And I was like, oh, well, all right, yeah. And it was great. Like, perfect mood. Like, perfect tone setting. Because it's a game that's got kind of like a... I hate using this word, but it's like the kind of like a Soulsborne atmosphere where it's like... But it's not like miserable. It's like the world is over and the world is ended, but it's like somber. It's not miserable. It's like the music is kind of whimsical to a certain degree, and things are bad, but it's like it doesn't feel. And things are bad and hopeless, but they don't really feel that way.
Gotcha.
But I was impressed with it. I was really happy, and I was like, "Oh, this game was cool." And then I found out that it's getting a sequel called what is it? Ender Magnolia. It's in early access on Steam right now, and when it full releases, I'm gonna get it because game was cool. And if you've got PlayStation Plus, it's worth checking out. It's like a 12, 15 hour game. It's a good time.
Come on, Alan.
I gotta look up what I was in the middle of talking to him. Stuff that Millie has done. Let's see. This is not... Oh, this is the thing. It's like, I don't even know. I've never heard of most of these games. It's like... To Kill a Living Book. Limbus Company, that's a mobile game. And I know I think they're related to, like, Lobotomy Corporation and stuff like that, but... I don't know.
Randall Leafon said, I have tons of friends out of state that I wish were nearby so we watch the Borderlands movie for a laugh. I think what we established earlier in this conversation is that it is not worth it even for the laugh.
It's not, because you're not going to laugh. You're not going to laugh at it. You're going to go... Listen, it's already online. It's like, if you really feel that way, just get some friends on Discord and pirate it.
Somebody in chat was talking about the fact that the script leaked on a USB that Randy Pitchford lost track of. Google Randy Pitchford USB.
Yeah, he lost that at medieval times. You should check it out.
Way through the water pipe alone. Cynthia was angry at the writer. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest.
This is, it's been a while, but Cynthia's one of the characters who was tied up in the Thomas Zane drama of decades ago. And she was also, we met at the very beginning of the game, in the diner. She was the one who was standing outside of the darkened hallway, being like, "Don't go in there!"
Yes.
Before we met Skinwalker Barbara Jagger.
Yeah, the token video game old crone.
Mm-hmm. Who we have, I think by this point, via manuscripts we have established was possibly a real person back in the 70s, but now is just is now a Skinwalker with the darkness in her. Oh, I didn't mean to use a flare again. All right, still don't have the controls mastered again.
You know, I love like cryptid and ghost like discussions and stuff, but I really got caught off guard the other day where I was talking to a friend who's like, "Yeah, you think skinwalkers are real?" I was like, I don't know.
Who can say?
I was like, which kind? Like, what, you know? Because there are so many different legends and stuff, and it really kind of caught me off guard because I was just like, you know, I talk about stupid cryptid stuff all the time, but it's like, just being asked like a genuine question like that, I was like, I don't know. Maybe.
Walk into the electricity. Woo! There you go. Thank you. I didn't have to fire that last shot.
What's your favorite cryptid, gang? Mine will forever be the Fresno Nightcrawlers, because those guys are little goobers. I love them. I don't think they're real, but they're very funny.
I don't think they're real.
Well, it's like and it's funny because I see people online talk about how creepy they are, but it's like the Fresno Nightcrawler. It's basically, have you ever gotten like really baggy like gym shorts and you've like pulled them all the way up to like your neck and you just are like a head with two big legs? That's what those guys are, just walking around at night.
Fascinating.
I love them. They're great.
Norwega said, "All right, gang, it's time to find out who this Mr. Scratch really is." Mr. Scratch technically doesn't even appear in this game. I don't think he's even in the DLC. I think Mr. Scratch is introduced in Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which is now only on PC. Yeah. You certainly can't get it on Xbox 360 anymore because they deleted the store.
What a shame.
The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story, but the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
So one of the, I think it's intentional. I don't think it's necessarily like super clear in this game, because as we've talked about, this game, like, we talked a lot in the first couple streams about this game's strengths and weaknesses, so I don't need to get into it a lot again. But I think a very deliberate aspect of Alan's character, especially in part 2, like we've talked about the fact that he's not a particularly good writer. Like he writes schlock, he writes airport novels. Not a ton in this game, but it is like noteworthy that this is like, it's not really a horror game. It's a horror flavored action game, and it seems like it's deliberately funny a lot of the time. Sometimes it may be like unintentionally funny, but some of it seems like it is legitimately intended to be funny.
Yeah.
And Alan Wake 2 in particular has a ton of stuff that seems tonally incongruous with a horror game. Anybody who watched the Game Awards last year has an inkling probably of what I'm talking about. And that's not the only thing in it. So one of the things that stands out to me about this is that Alan, like, so it's really unclear what the rules of the Dark Place are, but it seems like at least one rule is that things only come true if you write things like works of art that are created in the Dark Place, things that are written in the Dark Place, only start to manifest in reality or affect reality if they are good art. Quotation marks.
Yeah.
Now, that is a weird thing to write lore around because art is obviously inherently subjective. But there is a thing where it's like something can't manifest into reality or has a limited impact on reality if it's bad.
Yes.
And this is an element of the DLC, both for this game and for the... oh, I see it's going to keep spinning. That's a problem.
I wonder if it's possible to make it in one go. It probably is.
There is an element of in the DLC where like we see basically failed things that were written in the Dark Place that do not affect reality, and they're basically an excuse to go hog wild and just do zany stuff.
Yeah.
Alan Wake's American Horror Story, which was a standalone Xbox Live Arcade game back in the day, is an example of this.
I forgot it was standalone. That's so weird.
And the recent Night Springs DLC for Alan Wake 2 is an example of this. I don't want to talk too much about what those things are, because getting into them kind of requires talking about the ending of this game, which we obviously have not gotten to yet.
Broker Lower says chalk zone motif.
Chalk zone motif, exactly. Chalk zone motif.
Rudy's got the chalk.
Who's got the chalk?
Rudy.
That's exactly right. But one of the elements that comes in with this is Alan has talked in this game already about the elements that are required to tell a good horror story. And there's a big element in all of this. Like, whenever something bad happens, it's like, Alan, why'd you write it like that? Why'd you do that? And it's like, well, you know, it needs to be a good story for it to work. So he's been, and we saw like, oh, hold on, I forgot.
Yes.
You gotta focus on this first. Hold on.
Such philosophical concerns are by necessity abstract. And yet,
I think this is the last TV. We were looking at the guide last time. I think this is the last TV.
in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, an absence of creativity.
Okay, this could tie into what I was just talking about.
Hello, Martha. What did you want to show me?
Oh, Lydia, thank God you're here. Please, it's in the basement.
I love that it's like, it's clearly not a set. It's clearly just a place
Yeah.
and they're following them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't it? Did you this morning?
Oh my God, this is not the last Twin Peaks The Return prediction from these guys.
How did you get here?
Well, I'm trying to work.
Did you put this thing here?
In a way. To be more
Makes this
precise,
bigger for the audience at home.
But that.
Really? But what is it?
Oh, I guess the temptation is to call it a hole, but it's really an absence, a profound lack of reality.
In Martha's basement?
He was doing so well, too. I came up with two old ladies and put something really weird in the basement.
How about the subtitles?
It was
That
a
wasn't
great
very helpful
start.
of me.
I'm completely blocked now. I can't imagine what I was up to.
Well, surely it's just an ordinary basement.
Is it? Why did you call your friend here, then?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Couldn't you just ignore it?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. It would probably turn into a plot hole. Might be one already. Could sink the whole enterprise.
Oh my.
Listen, ladies, not to be rude, but I'm really not at all sure where I'm going with this, and you're just not helping. You should just go back upstairs for a cup of coffee while I try to figure out what I'm up to.
It was a good idea, but I forgot about the subtitles.
If you think that's best.
Maybe I should just stop here. Or is that too moronic?
Is that too moronic? Indeed. Who can tell? It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime.
That's
So-
a great line.
So this is an element of these games that I think is important. This game is full of stupid shit, but
Yeah.
Alan is very serious. He has to defeat the Dark Presence. He has to save his wife. And he talks a lot about it has to be a good story, right? But when he brings up like it has to be a good story, it has to be true. The subtext is he's saying it has to adhere to genre conventions.
Yes.
And one of the most important elements of Alan Wake 2's success is that it does not care at all about genre conventions. You can make an argument that a success of the original Max Payne is that it was playing off of genre convention, but then would do insane stuff, like when Max has a drug trip and realizes he's in a video game. That's not exactly a hard-boiled detective, like, played straight material. An element of Alan not being a great writer is he thinks it has to, the TV tropes page has to be airtight.
Of course. Okay. I don't know how you're gonna do that in a helicopter, but...
Well, they do have the big spotlight. That was the main.
That's true. That's true.
Is there anything over here? Anything hiding? It's probably too late to bother with the guide at this point.
Probably. At this point, I don't even know where the TVs are the biggest ones.
Yeah,
and they weren't hidden. Like all of those.
Yeah, and that was, like I said, I'm pretty sure that was the last one. So I think we're good.
I mean, you can check, can't you?
I don't think I can check that. Actually, maybe I can. Hold on. Let's see. TV shows found 3 of 14. Okay, there's one more left.
Okay.
The signs that say 0, alarm clocks found, and cardboard standees found, those are DLC. Yeah, Night Springs video games found as DLC.
I love video games.
Yo, okay, you guys are not helping officially. You are officially not helping. You need to point that at the bad guys.
You know, for it to be a big light, it's really not much stronger than your flashlight. Than your Luigi's Mansion flashlight.
Gang, they're over here.
Has Luigi's Mansion 2 like on the Switch?
Yeah, I think that's out. Okay. You have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's out. No, I'm like 90% sure I saw gameplay of it. I'm like somebody posting it on Twitter. I'm pretty sure it's out.
Is it good?
Luigi's Mansion 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it's pretty good.
Okay.
You can get another game for your Switch that you don't use.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can sit on it until Switch 2 comes out. I mean, I'm going to be totally real with you. I didn't buy 1000 Year Door Remake, mainly because I don't have time, but also because I'm like, I'll play it when I get a Switch 2.
Sure.
Ouch.
I just want to... I just want to know what they're going to do about... unless it's backwards compatible, it's like I just want to know the direction of Smash Brothers from here on out.
I assume it's backwards compatible. They'd be nuts not to make it backwards compatible with the library as big as it is. And this is also, again, this is like the first time they seem to have any kind of dedication to like allowing you to actually accumulate a digital library.
Yeah.
Specifically because of the fact that they're now doing it's a subscription to buy retro games instead of purchasing them. Like, the fact that they converted to that tells me that all of the Nintendo Switch Online games are just going to carry over.
Damn.
And that makes me think your eShop purchases are also going to carry over.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. It's just...
I assume you're going to feed the exact same cartridges into it, because the cartridges, like, you just stick the file on them and it's fine. There's no, like, Blu-ray changing compatibility or whatever. It's just going to be processing power.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the direction of the market in general right now, so it's like that would make sense.
I think they would be absolutely insane to not make it backwards compatible when everybody they're up against is all about letting you build up your library. Yeah. Ouch, come on.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, I'm just curious about Smash, and it's not because I'm like, oh man, when's the next Smash coming out? Because I don't think that they will. It's like, I want to know how they handle it, because it's no secret that Smash
Would you frickin' Alan, throw the flashbang.
It's no secret that Smash has been, that's like, it's the console seller.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it and Mario, well, actually, I bet they'll announce a new Mario Kart for it. Since they haven't done anything with Mario Kart in how many years now?
Yeah, it came out in 2014.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they did the big expansion pass for it, obviously, recently. Every time I looked at it, I was like, that doesn't seem like the original tracks didn't seem great. Obviously, some of the retro tracks are good. There was a really heavy reliance on tour tracks, which are kind of a mixed bag for me. I went and watched videos of them because I was curious, but kind of a mixed bag. And the visual style was kind of poopy because they spent... It wasn't even that it was, like, terrible, but just, like, that it looks so different from the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Which just kind of made it, like, stand out. Again, I don't know if we talked about this on the show. They need to do... Nobody's ever made Mod Nation Racers since Mod Nation Racers. They need to make Mario Kart Maker.
Yeah, and it's like they've had such success with Mario Maker.
Exactly.
So this seems like a no-brainer.
They should do Mario Kart Maker, and it comes with it comes with 8 tracks that are made by the devs, and then after that you just make your own stuff. That should be because like the other thing is like now Mario Kart 8 is like borderline unfollow-upable. Even in its base state, it had such a ludicrous amount of high-quality content, and then with Deluxe, which included all of the Wii U DLC and fixed the battle mode, like that is already such a sweet package that you'd be really hard pressed to make a game that feels like a significant step up on it unless you shifted the paradigm. I think Mario Kart Maker would be a really interesting idea.
Okay, but now that you've said that, like, I know the future of Smash Brothers, baby, and it's Mugen. We get Smash Brothers Maker, and it's just Mugen. Oh, that'd be miserable. Where'd the helicopter go?
They flew somewhere else, I guess.
Okay, I guess we don't need their light anymore.
I don't know. Maybe they were gonna airdrop Barry in with his Christmas lights, and he was gonna fight the Dark Presence himself. Ooh, Alan, turn around, Alan, turn around.
That was a bizarre camera.
These camera angles are the funniest thing, man.
The darndest things.
Oh, I have the flare gun out. Shit.
You had the wrong gun, Jacob.
I don't know how that one happened. I thought there was a guy behind me. I was like, why isn't he attacking me? But I had the sense. There's 2 guys.
You're getting comboed. You gotta dodge. Switch to the other gun. It's faster than reloading. So
right, there we go.
It's been long enough. I think the people are ready to hear.
What are they ready to hear, Joe?
I think they're ready to hear about the Taco Bell incident. It's not. It's not an incident. It's not an incident. That's the wrong thing.
All right, I'd like to. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I was telling Jacob. So it's no secret when I come over here. It's been a near tradition at this point that almost every time I come over here I get Taco Bell.
Hidden caches.
And before it was because that was the only thing that was convenient on the way over here. Times have changed over the years, and it's not the case anymore.
Now there's more convenient stuff, and it was more just a matter of like you don't get Taco Bell unless you're coming over here.
Yes.
It's something to get other than a burger, and it's
exactly.
on the way.
Exactly. But it breaks my heart to have this conversation, everybody. It really does. But as I
Oh, hold on.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I guess we gotta do this for a minute.
I'm a friend.
Prove it!
You knew Zane. Thomas Zane. You're the Lady of the Light in the song. You can help me.
About time. Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you. It's in the well-lit room.
Excuse me?
What you'll need to drive the darkness back. The well-lit room is at the dam. I built the room to keep it safe.
Yeah, there's more of this game left than I thought. This might not be the final stream.
The cabin, fine. Let's go.
Unless Aiden just wants to join in and, just go along with this insanity.
You could, we could pull an Attack on Titan where they're just like,
Finale
the final
part 2.
season, part 2!
This room isn't well lit enough. The well lit room is elsewhere. This room is like moderately well lit by, stopping the darkness standards, but it's not good enough.
It's draining all the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to the yard must be cut.
Let me guess. You want me to do it?
Young man, you're the one who likes to break the rules. I can't be outside in the dark. Kill switch is outside.
So yeah, I think we may have gotten this information in the last episode. I don't remember for sure, but if we didn't, it's pretty obvious at this point. She is the one who has been, because she was because she was involved with the stuff that happened back in the 70s, she has been hiding all these caches around town for when the Dark Presence became a problem again.
Yep.
This is all for you, for the likes of us. We do Tom's work, don't we? Hurry! The switch is on the wall facing the shore.
Sorry, I'm responding to a text from Aiden.
But yeah.
I cannot take you to the well-lit room if the lights in the pipe go out.
Yeah, okay, lady.
You must go outside to use the emergency switch.
What is that? Oh.
Full-on batteries.
Batteries.
Additional flare gun. I forgot, when you pick up a gun, it just equips it.
Ah. I've already drank all the coffee, monster.
He's drank far too much coffee, this Alan. I drank too much coffee earlier. I'm going to need a bathroom break in a second.
Damn.
Alan, get up there. No? Okay.
I don't think you can do that. But anyway, Taco Bell. So, it breaks my heart But I've realized, like, the last, 10 times I've gotten Taco Bell, I've been deeply dissatisfied with it. And it's like, it's not something that's the fault of the workers or anything like that. It's just like, they've removed half the menu items over the last decade, right? And changed it and added new stuff. I mean, things that restaurants
We were watching Todd and Aaron's stuff earlier. One of Todd and Aaron's videos a while back was I had to eat all of the items before they removed them from the menu.
Exactly. But it's everything that I've gotten has just been deeply unsatisfying. I've been it's either unremarkable or it just sucks. I mean, it was my fault that one time. It's I showed you the potato thing.
Yes.
And it was that was miserable. That was mostly my fault. But it's I don't think...
just recap the potato thing for people at home.
I barely remember. I think it was...
Joey
I wasn't thinking.
Food.
I wasn't thinking when I ordered my food, and I was yeah, potatoes, sure. But I was no lettuce, no tomato. Because their lettuce sucks and their tomatoes scare me.
So he asked for just a taco with cheese and potatoes.
But it was it was a hard taco, not soft, and it just had little potato squares and loose cheese in it. And I was this is probably the most pathetic thing in the world.
We took a picture of it. I think we might even be editing in something somewhere.
But that's my fault. I'm not gonna put that on Taco Bell. That was me. They gave the player too much choice and he screwed it up.
It's true.
But
this is what Roger Ebert was talking about when he said video games can't be art because the player can change the outcome.
Yeah, exactly. He knew what he was talking about in regards to this medium he never touches.
It's very funny that people there's a whole group of people our age who know nothing about Roger Ebert other than he said video games aren't art and they hate him. And literally, he said that once and then basically conceded defeat and was yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to shut up now. But nobody ever everybody loses their shit. But Roger Ebert was evil. He didn't like video games.
He doesn't like my Legend of Zelda. But anyway, Taco Bell.
People tried to get him to play Shadow of the Colossus, and he was guys, leave him alone.
Yeah. I still have to... Man, that is the most Joey-made game in the world, and I haven't played it yet still. But anyway, Taco Bell. Mm-hmm. I don't like them anymore, I don't think. Hot take. But it's I haven't gotten anything from Taco Bell that I liked in the last 10 times. And I keep ordering different stuff and it's can I just get something that's good? The only thing on the entire menu I like at this point, I think it's called a grill. It's a stupid name. It's grilled cheese burrito. And it's just a burrito that they put cheese on top and grill it. And it's but that's it. But that's...
No, Alan. No, Alan.
But they charge too much for that, and everything on their menu is all the stuff that's decent is expensive, and all the stuff that's not expensive sucks my balls. It's miserable. I think I'm done with Taco Bell. But you can buy Baja
I
Blast.
brute forced that. I had no idea what I was doing.
You did it
I'm listening
good.
to you talk about Taco Bell.
You can buy Baja Blast at the store now, and I don't. Maybe I'm just ordering it wrong. I don't know. To be fair, it's I don't have the biggest love of tacos. I don't really like their beef there. So I guess that's a big part of it. But it's I used to like their stuff well enough that I'd get it every time I came over here. But it's I was telling Jacob that I spent more today and I went all out and I got a whole bunch of crap.
Alan, I have no bullets. I just wasted all of my bullets to shoot this.
But I think I'm done. I think I'm done with Taco Bell, for the most part, because I gave it another shot today and I ordered the stuff. I even got the thing that I like and it was good, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Taco Bell. I know you're a
No, Alan!
I know you're a struggling small business, but I just don't think I can support you anymore. I can't do it.
Damn it, I wasn't fast enough. They just skipped the puzzle. The puzzle quotation mark. The test of your patience.
The transformer yard went dark and dead. Weaver's water pipe passed.
I bet if you were really good, you could have just jumped from one of those platforms to the other while they were moving.
Probably.
That would have been...
That's what I tried to do a second ago, but it killed my... it was going backwards and it killed my momentum. This looks like it's shootable.
Is it?
It is not. Wasted a shot. I got almost no shots. I shouldn't be wasting shots like this. Also, I am totally gonna have to go to the bathroom in a second here. Drank too much coffee. Woohoo!
Yippee! We what were we talking about earlier? And we were like, let's just talk about this on the show when it was talking about Microsoft and talking about like.
Oh, we were talking about Ghostwire specifically was what you were bringing up because we were talking about the Hi-Fi Rush isn't dead.
Yeah, woo!
Somebody else bought the studio and the IP.
Be excited, but also be a little like, oh, well, I mean, it's the people it's Tencent.
The good news is that, well, no, it's not, or Tencent has like a percentage of them, I think, but it's a South Korean company.
Yeah. The people that,
PUBG and like a couple of other embarrassing things.
Such as,
I don't remember, but there were like
Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, Callisto Protocol, that's the other big game, is Callisto Protocol.
The other big game.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But
AAA video games, they publish a lot of other stuff that like you've never heard of. No. Damn it. But that led to the discussion, and then we don't need to get into all of this because I'm probably going to talk about it in a video at some point if I get back around to making video essays. I'm finally going to make my Xbox follow-up video. I've kept waiting, but now that the Hi-Fi Rush loop has kind of closed, I've finally got like I feel like I've got the I've got what I need to actually make a video.
The only other thing that could happen is they announce Hi-Fi Rush 2, and it's for everything but Xbox.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen for a
else.
couple of years.
Yeah.
But specifically, we were just talking about like the fact that that like Xbox has been desperate to get like they need they want IP. They want IP clout.
They want recognizable IPs like John Halo.
They want more people to put in that collage of the Xbox family other than John Halo, and they don't have stuff with that kind of strength really. Do I have a melee?
No.
I'm gonna have to waste this.
Yeah.
Do you have any more ammo for me?
I sure hope so.
Can I open this and go back in there? Did her ammo repopulate? Wait, I just saw a shine. Oh no, it was this. It was the electricity up there. Come on! I need ammo. You got anything else for me? You got a flashlight that I don't want? Did I miss anything? There's batteries on the ground. I think I only burned one battery. Or, yeah, because 20 is my max. There are no...
Follow me. Come, the pipe's empty.
It's fine.
Oh, okay, well, we're moving on to the next... Oh, okay, oh, she's actually opening this gate. I did have to come back here. I thought I had to wander off into the woods for some reason. Looked like there was more places to wander. All right, coming back here was the correct thing to do.
Such a crush on him. Such a beautiful man. I was jealous. There was...
Change the bulbs.
I was maybe a little glad when she had the accident. And then Tom started writing and woke the dark.
Woke?
I should have known. Alan woke.
Oh, Alan woke.
There are no free rides like that.
The writing was on the wall the whole time.
In that case, young man, perhaps you're a smarter man than Tom was. The witch looked like her, but it wasn't. Barbara was sweet. He didn't understand until it was too late. He tried to undo it, wrote himself, her, everything he'd ever written out of the world. Oh, he was so famous.
Why do you walk like that?
And afterward, no one knew. Oh, Tom. He left only one thing behind in my care, in case it happened again. Insurance. He trusted me, or perhaps used me a little. Tom knew how I felt, knew I wouldn't refuse him. I built the well-lit room and put it there. It's been waiting for you.
More shots.
Yeah.
Trapped in a story you have written, and none of us will survive to see the end of it if the darkness isn't stopped. She'll twist the story to her own dark ends.
How do you know all this?
Tom, that's the way he wrote it. He still talks to me, you know, in television, from beyond, from below.
From
We have
Night
both
Springs.
been touched
From Night
by the
Springs.
darkness, young man. He saved us both with light, but the darkness
Do you need some help?
stays with you.
No, let her do it. It's her destiny, Jacob. It's just like Fox in Fallout 3.
This pipe will take us to...
No, I will not rob you of this. This is your destiny.
Friends, tell them where we're going.
There's no way he has a signal in here. Shut the hell up.
It's fiction, Jacob. Don't worry.
Yeah, Thomas Zane wrote that he'd have a signal in there.
It's Sarah now? Barry! We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You must reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.
But I'm Alan Wake. I'm a selfish idiot. It's one of my primary character traits.
Well, be a fool. I'll use the pipe. I'll meet you at the dam if you make it.
I wrote the story. I wrote that I wouldn't have written it that I was going to die here. Oh my god, he's so lame. And then it's slow motion epic. This is what I'm talking about. That's 1,000% meant to be funny, right? There's no way that was like he's meant to be cool.
He's the best.
This feels like something's hidden.
It does.
But alas, it's simply the remnants of this being an open world game.
What can you do about it?
I know, right? But no, we were talking about I'll talk more about like the Tango and Xbox stuff later, but yeah, like just the fact that like they have been desperate to get a recognizable face they can put on their collage of Xbox family characters, and they got it. Hi-Fi Rush was internally developed. They owned it. It had characters with recognizable silhouettes. Even if he wasn't holding his V-neck guitar weapon, you could still recognize
it was
Chai's
critically
silhouette.
and commercially successful for a game that was barely marketed in any capacity.
And they sold that along with Hi-Fi Rush, but along with the studio, but they retained the rights to Ghostwire Tokyo and The Evil Within. And I didn't want to speak about Ghostwire Tokyo other than I didn't hear much about it other than it's fine. But whatchamacallit?
Evil Within.
Evil Within stood out specifically because A, it's done. The story finished with 2, like that universe is closed, and B, that IP has no value outside of, hey, did you hear Shinji Mikami is making another Resident Evil like?
Now he's making that other game now, isn't he?
I don't know if he's attached to anything. He left Tango last year. I don't know if he's attached to anything.
Okay.
I need to go to the bathroom again. Instead of putting it on break, Joey, do you want to talk about Ghostwire Tokyo for a minute?
I can try to pull my my memories back of that game that I played like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to run to the restroom. You guys hang out.
Hello, everybody. You're stuck with me for a few minutes to talk about a game that's okay, and I don't feel very passionate about, and most of you probably haven't played it, but it's fine.
Well, you can, chat and have some other stuff for you to talk about as well. I'll be a minute. I also got to send another message real quick. I'll be back.
Gotcha. He's gotta write another letter and send it in the mail.
I gotta send it through the dark place to make sure it comes true.
So, Ghostwire Tokyo is not a... I have one strong thing to talk about that game, but I really have to wait till he comes back for that because I don't want him to miss it. Ghostwire Tokyo is like perfectly fine, but it's just it's I don't know. For years now, I've talked to Jacob, and I've been like magic shooters. That's the new thing, and I mean I'm kind of right. And they have had some magic shooters. That's the one that is like a pure magic shooter because it's like you do whoosh whoosh with your fingers, and you shoot wind or water or fire or whatever. Japanese wizard game. But it's like I don't know. It does some interesting things, but it's like it feels a little clunky to play. It's pretty slow. You get some movement stuff towards the end. If you don't... Oh, that game has a weird... Okay, I want to talk about difficulty thing in a second. It was just kind of like... I don't know. It was just kind of a... I don't want to say a nothing game, because that's mean. It's like the game was perfectly fine, but it was just fine. It was like I'd put it at like a 6.5 or a 7. I don't know. When you say like, there are so many games that are a 7 out of 10, and some of them, there's like 7 out of 10 positive and 7 out of 10 like negative, where it's like it's like Ghostwire Tokyo might have been like a 7 out of 10, but it's like, but it's like Dragon's Dogma was a 7 out of 10, and it's like, yeah, but that's like, woo, that's a big one. But Ghostwire Tokyo, it's just like, it's weird that is one of the things that they retained. It just, maybe, I'm not going to speculate. It's just, maybe it's because it's what they had, and it was another Bethesda adjacent project. I don't really know what studio worked on it. It was one of the ones within Bethesda. Something that I would have forgotten about if the game didn't kind of beat you over the head with the fact that it was Bethesda, because it's an open world game and it doesn't feel like it really should be an open world game. It has some of the most puzzling, I'm going to talk about this when it comes back, it has some of the most puzzling collectibles I've ever seen in a video game, where it's like, you know, when you have something like, we'll say like a Far Cry or something, it's like, you know, you complete a mission, it's like you get a material to craft something, or you go hunt a monster to make like a thing that you carry more ammo, or you get like a gun unlock or whatever. And you have a little bit of that in this. It's like you can get some like, you know, capacity upgrades, some magic upgrades, some skill point stuff, but a lot of the upgrades in that game are like cosmetics for, this is what we were talking about earlier, like single player games where it's not, it's first person and you can like change your costume, and it's like, well, that's weird. But there's the one that was really puzzling to me is a lot of the rewards in that game are filters for your camera mode, like photo mode. You know,
I feel like that's a common one these days. For like, we need to populate the roster of like of rewards. Camera filters, I think, show up a decent amount.
It's
now.
true, but this was the most overt one where it's like I've done this side quest, and it's like, okay, and you got camera filter 19 and camera filter 20, and it's like, what? Mm-hmm. And I guess that's why you get costumes in that game, even though it's a first-person game and it's not multiplayer. But this is what when I was telling you earlier, this is what I was saving up for. We were talking about immersion in games to an extent, and I was like, for me, it's like, it's not that immersion is not important to me, it's something that's usually an afterthought for me. It's like, I'm either immersed or I'm not immersed, and it doesn't really bother me. It's not something that I have to have, but it's like, and most of the time when I'm immersed, it's hard for me to get ripped out of it.
Right.
But this game did, because I was doing like a big side quest, and I was having to do all these things. It was taking me a while. I wasn't looking it up. I was parsing out how to get from this place to this place. I remember it involved like figuring out how to parkour your way up certain buildings and stuff. And I was like, I finally did it. And it's like, awesome. Okay. And I killed the thing. It's like, cool. And it popped up. It was like, reward, Vault 101 outfit. And I was like, I got ripped out. I was like, what? And I was so confused, and I was like, oh yeah, this was like a Bethesda adjacent game. This is like one of their studios.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't so much that Microsoft bought Tango; they bought Bethesda, which was part of. So
but it's like
Tango was part of Bethesda.
That is the most I've ever been ripped out of a game before, because like I had just forgotten, and I was expecting it. I was like, am I gonna get like a skill? Am I gonna get like a thing, an upgrade? And it's like, no, you can put a vault like skin tight suit on your first person character that you never.
So that whenever you're watching a dramatic cutscene,
exactly.
You're getting Fallout brand recognition,
and it's
maximized.
Also, and it's like I like being able to, you know, it's never a bad thing to be able to customize your character, but it's like in a game like that, it's like I kept the default outfit on the entire time because I was like, well, this is what the character looks like. This is what the character looks like. You know, it's like for me, it's like aside from the first time I played like Mass Effect, it's like I'm never gonna make a custom Shepard because it's like, well, this is what Shepard looks like.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm not making a character. This character exists.
Yeah,
and it's nice.
I understand. I understand and agree completely. In a lot of circumstances, I feel very similarly.
But it was just like I did all that. I was like, I did all that for a vault suit.
I'm sure there's a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they axed Tango, and like the biggest one is obviously that they spent $69 billion on Activision Blizzard, and they were like, well, shit, we got cut costs somewhere, and the fastest way to do that is lay people off. And they, I'm sure, did not market Hi-Fi because they wanted it to flop, so they would have an excuse to close Tango.
It seems pretty obvious at this point that was the
there's another element to it that I wonder about, which is Shinji Mikami did not direct Hi-Fi Rush; he just produced it.
Yep.
And he left Tango shortly after Hi-Fi Rush released, like summer of last year, right? I wonder if they thought the perceived value of this studio is Shinji Mikami, and that helped tip them over the edge of getting rid of it, because. Remember, on the long list of insane things that Xbox turned down, including Grand Theft Auto 3, Spider-Man exclusivity, they turned down RE4. Yeah. Specifically, they turned down, because it was going to be, like, all that stuff was going to go there, and then it went to Nintendo. Specifically, they were so rude to, apparently the Xbox people were so rude and disrespectful to Shinji Mikami and other people from Capcom that they immediately walked out and gave it to Nintendo. And I'm like, wouldn't it be wild if a major part of them getting rid of Tango was, oh, we really corrected that mistake. Because they held on to the evil within, which is worthless.
Yeah.
Oh man, we really, we finally, corrected that mistake. We got Shinji Mikami on our payroll. Oh, Shinji Mikami didn't even direct that new game they're making, and he left the studio? Well, this is a worthless pile of shit now.
Yeah.
And then they bailed on another. I don't know that happened anywhere, but it would be really funny if that was even 5% of the calculation on ditching Tango, just because they're so effing clueless.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, history repeats itself, so there's a non-zero chance that was the case. Every time Hi-Fi Rush goes on sale, I'm like, I can't play this right now, but I should get this game. I should do it, but I don't.
If I wasn't leaving, that would be on the hypothetical LPing list, but
maybe one day.
Maybe over Discord.
Maybe.
Who knows? You were just talking about something on your Steam wish list. Did you get a new computer?
No, it was PlayStation.
Oh, okay, it's your PlayStation list.
No, I did not get a new computer.
I
have pulled when I moved, I had to dig my computer out, and I have dug it out, but I've not activated it yet.
Sure.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
But I have it out because a friend is trying to convince me to play RuneScape again, and it's like, it's not gonna work. But I was like, whatever. I'm holding up if he holds up his end of the bargain, which is getting through Elden Ring, it's like I'll hold up my end of the bargain. Yes. But I gotta actually boot the computer up.
Yeah, but unfortunately, even getting you can get a pretty cheap gaming computer that runs things okay. You get a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I could, yeah.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying these are options.
These are options, but even like the cheapest thing is not viable at this point.
No, I know. I know. Just talking.
I've thought about it, and it's like I do want to. I do want to get something. Like, it doesn't have to be big. It's like I don't think I'm ever going to be running like Arma or anything on the PC, but it's like I wouldn't mind being able to play like smaller indie games on Steam and stuff. Play modded Minecraft again, play Terraria on there, stuff like that.
All right, I want to listen to this page.
Yeah.
Sarah was almost starting to relax. Maybe they could turn this into a win yet. Suddenly, there was a piercing sound, like a table saw gone wild, as 100 birds made out of shadows swarmed
like a table saw gone wild. Does it make a different sound when it's functioning properly?
They were going down. Barry Wheeler screamed next to her.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, not cool. My man.
Very cool.
Doo-doo. But
birds. Where's the birds? Birds.
For all the mostly vaguely negative things I've said about that game, they like a little while after Ghostwire came out, they released like a massive free update for the game that added a lot of cool things in like a DMC style like battle tower.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool. I didn't have the game in my possession at the time, so I couldn't test it out myself because I'd borrowed it from a friend.
Sure.
But I was I looked into it a bit, and I was like, this seems cool. It's like, I'm glad they're not just like pumping the game out and letting it die.
I'm not wasting a battery. I'm just that skilled at Alan Wake.
He's just that gamer brain. Well, if there's a battery in there.
There's a battery in there. Okay, then I'll waste a battery.
Oh, did they just... Oh,
yeah, they suicided. They flew into this to try and attack me, and they killed themselves. No!
Whoa!
Alan! There we go. Easy.
Sick.
Easy game for me to play.
He's so good, everybody. He's such a gamer.
There was a shortcut there, but why would you take it when you could use that other thing over there to... Alan, please. Alan.
He's such a gamer, and that's why we are pleased to announce our playthrough Dark Souls 2. That's right, everybody. We recorded a video years ago, and now it's time to bring it all around.
Nope.
Damn.
I mean, I say that. I've said to you previously, do you have anything you want to LP? And you've always said, I don't really feel strongly about anything, and let me pick stuff. If you wanted to do Dark Souls 2,
nah.
Except for the fact we don't have time anymore.
It's true, we don't. I mean, if we were going to do a Souls game, it would be Bloodborne or maybe Sekiro.
I was about to say, or Sekiro, and I nailed it, yeah.
Because those are the two best Souls games.
Uh-huh.
The crash site looked bad, but as far as I could tell, the wreck was empty.
Awesome.
They're probably the Dark Presence.
It's like I told you, I didn't get to bring up my gag because we never did our like games of the year end year like preview from 22. But like my whole thing was gonna be like I was the gag was going to be I'm describing this Game of the Year winner from Soft game that's changed my life. That's right, it's Sekiro.
That's right, it's Sekiro, baby.
Not Elden Ring. Yeah, every game I play from now on will be. And it's funny because it's like I can't say that I like Sekiro more than Bloodborne, but I'm forever chasing the high of Sekiro because no game has ever done what that game did to me. I don't think it'll ever happen again. I didn't care a thing at all about ever looking into Stellar Blade until Pat was like, it's a Sekiro-like. And I was like, huh?
But Joey, what about aren't you mad about the costumes?
I'm so mad.
The social justice warriors are at it again. The social studies warriors.
The social studies I messed up the joke, are at it again. Because as we all know, the thing I love the most about Sekiro is how fat Wolf's ass is in that game.
Mm-hmm, it's true. It's true.
The flaming eye of Mordor?
Laugh it up, funny man. Didn't we have somewhere to go?
Weaver will meet us at the dam.
That felt,
hold on.
That felt like a joke that should have been in the Borderlands movie, but it wasn't. That's the I cannot.
Oh God.
Yeah, I cannot emphasize.
No, enough, I just did it. I did it 2 times in a row.
I cannot emphasize enough how weird it is that that movie did not have 1,000 references. It's so weird.
Feels strange.
It feels so strange.
It doesn't feel like Borderlands.
It doesn't, for better and worse. Not that I would have wanted it to anyway. I'm too mean-spirited. I was rooting for this thing to fail.
So chat, there's not a ton of you in here, but that's all the better for what's been going on. What's going on with you guys lately? It's been a couple of months. How's everybody doing?
What cryptid sightings have you come across? What games?
What's your favorite
played?
cryptid?
What have you done?
You know your helicopter crash landed in Night Springs.
What?
Barry, you're not a writer.
His voice is so quiet compared to the rest of the game.
He was too far away. Plus, I've got the TV turned down a little bit.
I should have kept that gym membership.
Who here has a gym membership? I had a gym membership.
Who in the chat's got a gym membership?
Post Physique. That's mean-spirited, and I will never use it, especially given my physique. But it's the funniest thing that I laugh every time I'm.
I've never heard this phrase.
Have you not?
No.
It's
like
somebody will be. There will be
send nudes.
Yeah. Well, no. It'll be. It's somebody has an opinion about something online. They're like, huh, post physique. It's basically like, oh, that's your opinion. Show me what you look like.
Okay, got it.
It's horrible and mean spirited, but it makes me laugh every time I see post physique.
All right, we got teleporters now.
Oh, jeez.
Because there's not a lot of enemy variety in this game. So what's the thing that a normal human can do? It can move really fast.
Wow.
I watched the Olympics. This isn't that crazy.
I kind of wanted to watch the Olympics and realized that I don't have TV, so I can't.
And even like people uploading stuff to YouTube or whatever got like aggressively copyright struck because the cable companies are like, well, if people post it online, then they won't, they
won't buy it.
Then they won't watch cable. It's like, well, actually, gang, maybe you need to like win over young people who need to be shown that the Olympics are cool, so they would actually want to watch it.
Dude, it's like, man, was that it? Like, my mom and grandmother have a Roku, and they're just like, we can put you on the thing, just, put it on your TV. It's like, I don't want it. Hey, pal, thank you. I got a bad feeling. It's better than cable, but it's like, I'm not going to watch anything. I'm not going to watch anything y'all do.
Sweet.
Damn it. In this house, we go on just what used to be justdubs.com, and we watch anime there.
Oh, that was recent Babe Wake Up More AI litigation. I think it was some company had scraped kissanime.net.
Oh, really?
Or one of those, yeah.
Oh man. I can't remember. Did I complain?
Another one just came out about NVIDIA scraped like a huge amount of YouTube for something.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Obviously, can't scrape all of YouTube because that would be impossible.
That'd be funny. No, I can't remember. Like, did I bring up my issue with attempting to legally watch anime?
I'm probably.
So I was listening to Versus Wolves, the podcast involving Super Eye Patch Wolf and Wooly Versus.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the anime Vinland Saga, and I was like, this sounds really cool. I want to watch Vinland Saga.
That's really too bad that you want to watch an anime.
Well, so I didn't know that at the time, right? I mean, I was like, well, whatever. I was like, okay, how can I was like, I don't want to just watch this on my iPad, right?
Sure.
So how do I do this? You know, before it'd be like, watch on your laptop. Well, I'm scared to turn my laptop on. Okay, well, watch it on the PlayStation web browser. Well, they took that away for PS5, and I'll never forgive them for it. But, so I was like, I was kind of just talking to my friend. I'm trying to figure this out. I was like, okay, well, I have Crunchyroll through Amazon. I'll give you my information.
Okay.
I was like, okay, yeah.
That's cool of you, bro.
Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it. So,
Sarah, get in the elevator. Let's go. Come on.
I get on. And I mean, this will probably also be a thing of the past soon, with how much Netflix and all those places are cracking down on sharing passwords. But doesn't matter.
Amazon can't really do that because it's like, your family orders stuff. I think Netflix did that because they're like desperate for their numbers to keep going up, and
Disney
they're going
Plus
down.
is going to be doing that too.
I don't think Amazon's really going to have that problem since Amazon is kind of, more than just a video streaming service.
Right, fair enough.
I'm just saying, like, they're
It would be stupid, but I'm sure they're going to try some AI-powered information to tell you, which person actually has the account and not.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they won't try anything. I'm just saying of the bunch, they're the ones that I would worry about the least in that regard because, like, they're not losing money from like, oh man, our Amazon Prime subscriptions didn't grow at the rate we wanted. Because that's like
I mean, you're right, but spoilers alert for this story, it doesn't even matter.
Yes, go ahead.
Because I was like, okay, cool. I have this, and even if I'm not paying for it, technically, I'm going to legally watch anime for like the first time in my life. All right? So I fire it up, and on my PlayStation 5, and I fire up the Amazon video thing. It's like, oh, okay, Vinland Saga, let's watch it. And I start watching it. 2 observations, Jacob. The first observation is the subtitles are late.
Okay.
They are about a second and a half late. That's annoying, but it's not so annoying that I can't watch it. I was like, this sucks, but whatever.
They got through. They're fine.
I grew up watching Bleach on YouTube. Bleach episode 6, part 1
part
of
2.
3.
Yeah. We all know. I say that.
So
some of our fans are young. They may not know actually.
It's like, and this was back in the time when it's like my internet wasn't good enough to watch 720p. So it's like I'm watching 480, 360p.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I've been in the trenches. I'm not above a weird anime viewing experience. So I was like, I will deal with this. But then another problem kept consistently happening. And
Classic shit's happening over here in Alan Wake.
And this is the
now.
most baffling thing because I can't understand how this works. I had to stop watching it for the second reason. Second reason is every time there was a flashback in the show, or something that was like a flashback, the subtitles weren't there. A third of episode 1 of Vinland Saga the subtitles weren't there.
That is an interesting problem that I've never encountered in watching a lot of Amazon Prime content.
I know, right? But I was like, this is so weird. Maybe this is like a first episode thing. This is so weird. Same thing for the second episode. And no matter what I did, nothing would change. It was always late, and it always skipped that. So I was just like, well, I tried. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me, and I started watching it on my iPad on just dubs.
Per Dale Mage talking about the Olympics said breakdancing was not doing favors to anyone. I think they already axed that for the 2028 Olympics. Damn. I think they already said that we're not doing that again.
Was it that bad?
It was pretty bad. It was pretty dire. I mean, like let me put it this way: like, how do you rank it? There's already people get gymnastics ratings and like ice skating rankings there's a bit of a I wouldn't say subjective element to it, but I think people are like, what's it feels like you watch it and you go, those numbers feel arbitrary if you're not an expert, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what the ranking system was for the breakdancing, and I only saw a couple of clips of it, but it's like there were no most of it was pretty cringe. I saw 1 or 2 that I was like, it looks fine, I guess. But breakdancing is just like such an old thing now. It's like, and people talk about like there were no Black American competitors even in it because like our hip hop scene has moved past that.
Yeah,
it still kind of exists elsewhere. And I mean, there is an athletic, challenge to it if you're really good at it and you're doing insane stuff. But there were some people out there who were not doing anything. I couldn't do. Let's put it that way.
All right. I would have loved to see that, but as we've mentioned, I can't watch the Olympics.
Thomas Zane knew he had to remove all that had made this horror possible, including himself. That was the only way to banish the dark presence he had unleashed and now looked at him through the eyes of his dead love. But he also knew that despite his best efforts, it might someday return. So even as he wrote himself and his work out of existence, he added a loophole as insurance, an exception to the rule. Anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain.
Circo Duck said, "Oh, the Australian breakdancer was my favorite cryptid." So that was the main meme fodder out of it. Was a lady from Australia who competed in breakdancing, who was like the worst performance, and she went like mega viral. People dumping on her.
Damn.
And I feel a little bit sorry for her. Of like, it's always it always sucks when somebody winds up being like the subject of international mockery for I think about like all that guy ever did was follow his dreams.
Which thing are you referring to?
There was I don't even know who the stand-up comedian is. It's at the beginning of Lindsay Ellis's video on cats.
Okay.
But she's talking about Guy Fieri, and basically time has been kind to Guy Fieri, and we've all decided no, he's fine. It's okay. But basically, once upon a time, people, relentlessly shit on this guy.
Yeah.
And she plays a bit of a stand-up routine where someone says, people shit on that dude all the time. And from what I can tell, the only thing he ever did was follow his dreams. But no, this one Australian competitor gave... This was when I said people out there doing stuff I could do. She gave the cringe performance of a lifetime, and basically became the poster child for this is an abomination. Why is this at the Olympic Games?
I see. It turned into one of these. This very well could be a sitcom where somebody has fumbled their way into the Olympics by accident, and they're trying to fake it so they make it.
Oh boy, you just said that. I got a thing to tell you about that I can't talk about on stream.
Oh baby.
Remind me. Olympics sitcom fumbled your way in later.
Okay. I still am a very big proponent of. Something they need to add to the Olympics is every single event needs to have a random guy that they pull out of the crowd. Just so that we all have a
baseline.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
We have a control basically.
At every single event, we need to have one normal guy who's pulled out of the crowd. And what that will lead to is occasionally crazy pop-offs.
Yeah.
When guy they pulled out of the audience doesn't get last place in an 8-man sprint contest.
You can't go wrong with this. I'm telling you.
No, it's a good idea. I like this idea.
It would be great. That man, I mean, it's not like they're really struggling with Olympic views, but it's like, that's you'd get people in for that, right?
I was having a conversation about they should do the pair. I know it's the point is that it's
sent you with a feint.
I know everybody is already there. It's it would cost a lot of money to stage it at a separate time. But by the time the Paralympics is always immediately after the Olympics, and though it's shorter, it's you're kind of Olympicsed out by the end of it, which I don't think does them favors on getting people to watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like that. I was having a conversation about this. It's an unfortunate situation because you can't really put it somewhere else because you're never gonna have. No, I don't feel like it. You're never gonna have organizationally, you can't stage it at another time, but you should almost maybe even have them happening concurrently. But I guess it's already there's too many events, so I don't know. I guess you can't. There's not a great solution for it.
I mean, could you not? I mean, I guess if you're doing the same stuff in the same area, you couldn't. But it's you could have a GDQ model where you have.
Oh no! I wasn't paying attention.
You have summer games done quick and then awesome games done quick. At 2 different times of the year. But whatever. I'm not an Olympic organizer.
The main thing is about getting the press and the crowds and the various countries transporting people there from all over the world. And at least in theory, you've already got a decent amount of spectators there. Some people will stick around, especially because it's presumably easier to get tickets for Paralympics events than it is for core Olympics events, because there's just going to be fewer people there. Because as I understand it, I don't know if this is still the way it's done, but years ago I spoke to someone who was going to the Olympics, and it's you don't pick the events you want to go to unless like you know people on the team or you've got clout of some kind. Like you, damn it, you basically get like a package of tickets and you roll the dice on like, you know, okay, what U.S. Olympic events do I, you know, what events with U.S. Olympic athletes or, you know, whatever country you are wanting to attend events from.
Right.
Oh, you rolled tennis. Awesome. Oh, you rolled luge. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think I mentioned I may have mentioned this to you before, but it's like my mom does travel agent business on the side, right? And
not gonna miss this call.
And she had one guy who it's like he had done stuff before where he was just like, hey, give me quotes for this, and then ghosts, right? You know, people are like,
damn it! Oh my god.
Where it's like he's very enthusiastic and then immediately gets cold feet instantly about the trip. But it was really funny because he's like, this was like,
oh, I didn't know this. Sorry, somebody just dropped some additional lore about the Australian breakdancer. Don't be sorry for her. Her husband is the coach of the team and sabotaged most of the others that applied. Got it. All right.
Sick.
Awesome. All right. See, I didn't know that lore. All right.
But this was like 3 weeks before the Olympics, and he was like, yes, I would like to go to the Olympics. You know, like I would like a hotel.
This is so loud. It should be ducking, but it is not. Like it's when we talk, it should be lowering, but it's like it's way too loud. I'm gonna take this down a bit. All this storm noise. I don't know if anybody can hear anything we're talking about right now.
But he was basically like, yes, I would like a hotel, like, you know, right across from the Olympics, and I would like to go to the Olympics. So he's like, okay, well, you know, what, you know, let's be specific. He's like, the Olympics. I just want to go to all the Olympics. And it's like,
you do understand
what?
There's like there's a like, you know, it's not necessarily all compressed in one spot.
No, it all takes place in the Olympics place, Jacob.
Uh-huh.
And then of course he did not follow through. The well-lit room.
Oh hey, we found you. Excellent. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yippee.
God, I turned it down and it's still like something wrong with this setting. We haven't streamed in a minute. Let me check this. No, it's still set. No, it goes down. I just gotta be really loud, I guess.
Many years now.
We gotta let the gamer genes take over. We gotta rage.
We gotta like that one guy in the special edition with the tonsils.
Yes.
Changed regularly based on their make and model.
This is not. There is nobody can say anything at this point in your life that is a eye-rolling, right, inducing. If this has been your week,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not possible.
Active during the Second World War. They operated here back then. They must have built this.
Yes, they did. It's my place now.
This place would be cool as hell to hang out.
Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker. The switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence in a story I had written. I can get to her now. I can finish this.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. That's great, Alan, but the music's copyrighted.
That's true.
Alan Wake. I wrote a
Or did they fix
horror
that? No,
story
that's only in the second game they fixed
Thomas
it.
Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go no further.
If I continue like the Dark
I think I had
Presence
mentioned to
wants me
you how I've
the story I
180'd
write won't
at the
save
theater
Alice.
when Nicole
It's a
Kidman
horror
comes
story.
on, where it's like, before it was like a groan and now I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah,
cheering.
absolutely. It's now you salute.
But the problem, Jacob, I don't know when the last time you went is, but they've like cut her segment down to like 40%. It's like it's not even half as long as it used to be.
I can finish this.
It's depressing. She
Alright.
gets me to the theater. She
It's true.
understands me.
She's right. Heartbreak does feel good in a place like
Because
this.
here, it is real.
It is
Whatever
real
she-
in this place.
That segment is still there, but it's not. But it's like it's different context.
One of my favorite images ever is still somebody took a photo in the theater of she's on the screen and somebody in a couple rows ahead of the photographer is standing up saluting. That is one of my favorite shitpost photos I've seen in ages. It's not a Photoshop, it's just like a picture somebody took.
To dull the pain.
Oh, he just said something about pills to dull the pain. He just said to dull the pain. I don't think he said the pills.
Swore to quit drinking.
Oh no, he did say pills to dull the pain. He said sunglasses and painkillers.
Oh my gosh.
Hell yes, pills to dull the pain. Pills to dull the pain.
Pills here.
The sunglasses made the world look bearable. Now I could keep my eyes open without feeling like
And
a
they made
vampire
me
in the
look
sun.
like a total twerp.
Like a vampire in the sun. I saw one of the movies we saw not long ago was Interview with a Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good movie.
The original, I assume.
The OG, yeah.
Pills to dull the pain.
The pills worked fast. The prospect of being awake.
They
started
didn't
to
work
seem
that fast, Alan. That was
We're in
entirely psychological.
Listen, we're in video game time, all right?
That was entirely psychological if you think they worked that fast.
on the machine.
They're just sugar pills.
Anything hiding in here? Nah, just the same QR code and no more, no additional voice acting.
You have one new message.
Ow! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey! You should have your show on your TiVo. If Alice wasn't too mad to record it. Now, she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your
He
friend.
looks so cool.
He looks like such a chode.
He looks like that one character in Heavy Rain that you play with the magic glasses.
Watch the show on TiVo, Alan. Use your TiVo box, Alan.
That animation is just very funny to me.
Oh, it's this part.
Thank you, everybody. We have a great show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop. Yeah, good read. Go buy it. No, it is a good read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here. Is that wise? No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy. But this one, I actually read from cover to cover. I mean, I'm a big fan. Wow.
It's a shitty airport novel for dumbasses.
For those who haven't read the book yet, based on the sales figures, the 2 people out there who haven't read the book yet. But this last book is all about the death of the main character, the hard-boiled New York detective, Alex Casey.
Circle Duck said, wait, he's a writer?
Why the hell did you kill Casey? What the hell were you thinking, man?
Good riddance. No, seriously though. 7 years and 6 books is a long time. He was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me.
You selfish bastard. Always thinking of your... Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment over the years. And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had much luck with his love life with the ladies. Was that autobiographical in any way?
Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all about his pain. No, nothing autobiographical about that. I'm a happily married man. My wife is my muse.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you?
Who is that guy sitting on the sofa next to him, though?
Who is
to be back home in New York.
Do you remember this? Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay.
Lots of parties and, You got into a fight with some paparazzi.
Oh, man. Well, that guy was really in my face. I lost my temper. I know that wasn't cool.
You are famous for that temper.
Well, I did also write several books.
Well, your latest novel is called The Sudden Stop, and it's in bookstores now. Go get it.
It's never immoral to get into a fight with the paparazzi.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank all our guests for the evening. Alan Wake, Sam Lake. What's more,
Do the face, yeah!
At least I'd been funny. I told myself I could live.
And there's the Poets of the Fall.
Awesome.
I didn't say anything stupid if that's what you want to know. Are you going to start with me about drinking now?
You know what? Go back to sleep, Alan.
That's not where you were coming from.
What? Now you can't even talk?
His glasses are like falling off of his face. like video game they weren't staying on.
Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet.
I really thought he was gonna like hit her or something. I thought it was escalating to that.
Somehow, the clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice. I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry, take her gun.
What?
Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
He's gonna literally jump into the lake.
Yes.
He's gonna go deep. He's gonna went in deeper.
What you know about rolling down into deep when your brain goes numb? You call that mental freeze, Jacob.
You know, Joey, that was effing beautiful. What you just did there.
When I got out, it was warm and sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed.
I was about to say the cops are still looking for him, but I forgot. Actually, the FBI agent got him.
Yeah.
He got sucked out the door by the ghoulies.
Yeah, I don't think they have much of a presence here.
Alone, in daylight, surrounded
this
by
game
the beauty of the
would
Pacific
just let me keep my
Northwest landscape. It was hard not to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still
listen. He read the manuscript. He knows there are going to be guns along the way.
It's true.
Something like this. Having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed, there would be no way of knowing. I told myself it didn't really matter. My course was set.
All right, how do I drive?
Where do you drive to? Why did he stop here and get out if you gotta just get back on?
He wanted to pick up that coffee thermos.
You're right. He's thirsty. Yeah, this game is not good for his health. Aside from, you know, being brutally attacked at every corner.
This is true.
Aside from that.
I don't know what we're going to do about the rest of these games now since what I discussed at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows? I was thinking about making like a bit of a video essay talking about Alan Wake and Control and Alan Wake 2, and I might wind up still making that anyway, but I don't know if LPing them all is going to happen at this rate.
We'll see what we
Anything hidden over here? Damn it. Shit. Am I stuck? Okay. This took a while to reverse. I'm not just. What am I even looking for collectibles for?
We'll have to just play around with new formats and Discord and things of the sort and see if anything works.
What's going on over here? Anything?
We're gonna have to learn. We're gonna have to learn to live in the digital age, Jacob.
The main problem with Discord is mainly that since you don't have a computer right now, like you can't set up like a decent.
Well, the thing is, I did download that program that you told me to download. So in theory, if I press the power button and I don't explode and get ragdolled out the back of my house.
Yeah, part of the problem that I had with Aiden when we were trying to film FF7 the first time was I had her recording her own audio, and it just didn't work. Like there were like, even though our setups were completely identical in the same software, there were massive desync issues, and I couldn't figure out how to fix it. That was what stalled out the.
That's weird.
There was a link between us. Always would be. I could feel its presence again, getting closer.
That was what stalled out the FF7 playthrough the first time around. So at this point, I think I would rather just record a Discord call.
I will kill you.
Like just record my audio and the audio coming through the computer at the same time.
Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna have to fix my status as a red bar warrior. Before then, I don't know if I've told you that, but I've become that which I sought to destroy.
Which is
a red bar warrior, someone who lives on Wi-Fi.
Ah, yeah, of course.
It's because it's because with my current setup, the only way, because we had a real issue with the internet, because it was basically. This is all speculation from me and the people that we called to get the internet set up at the house. But it was basically, it's like, these days they don't want to send people out to set your crap up. They just want you to do it yourself. And I couldn't get it to work, and it's because, like...
We'll listen to this first one.
Yeah. Trying to capture the writer so he could create the ending it wanted. The writer knew too much. He was too strong. And he carried a weapon left behind.
He was too strong.
He was too strong and too powerful and too hot.
Now...
And too talented.
And he was such a good writer.
Stop the writer from ever reaching Cauldron Lake and the dark place it came from.
All right, continue with the internet. Sorry.
Basically, it seems like
Alan, click the clicker again.
The people that had the house before us, maybe not even just them, maybe the people before that. It seems like a lot of people have had a lot of different internets at our house, and instead of doing the thing where you properly undo all the cords and stuff, it seems like we found like a big bundle of a bunch of just snipped cords where it was like, okay, well this was the Comcast thing, but we don't have Comcast anymore, so let's just cut it. And so but to get it to work at all, the router and all that is in a very inopportune place in the house, and even though our house is small, it's no exaggeration to say the spot where we can connect to the internet is
X
physically
to boost headlights. Literally, I checked every button except X.
But it's like it's physically as far away from where I need it to be as is physically possible. So I can't just like run a I'd have to drill a hole in the floor and run a cord underneath the house. And
that's fun.
It's scary. I don't especially with a beard like this. I hate going in dirty ass like spider ridden places. It's like I'm not even like afraid of spiders or anything like that, but it's like I don't like getting gunk in my beard. It's gross.
No, I completely
I don't want to
understand.
crawl under my house. I haven't. It's like I don't.
Oh, there's a ramp.
Oh,
like a real video game would have.
Was that car moving?
That car was in fact moving.
Just like Fallout 4.
That
baby.
car was on a hill and it popped into existence as we approached it, and physics dictated it needed to roll a little bit.
Just like Fallout 4, baby. But yeah, it's like I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. I also don't have a long enough Ethernet cable to run it yet. But alas, I'm gonna have to do it one day. I know I will.
Refundable $100 security deposit required for all reservations. No personal checks accepted. We take all major credit cards. Checkout time is 10 a.m. No loud music, no pets. 1 vehicle per unit. Facilities for registered guests only. No visitors are allowed on the premises after 9 p.m. No exceptions. Hope you enjoy your stay at the Majestic. If you're a senior or a vet, ask for discounts.
Wow.
It's said that Nightingale stayed in room 2.
I see.
I bet there's going to be manuscript pages in there. Or an FBI windbreaker. Can I change my costume?
No, because this isn't a first-person shooter where you never...
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, I dare not get excited, but you talking about the Valve hero shooter? It's like
Be crazy if it was good.
It'd be crazy because
Be crazy if Valve just can't miss. If they make a game once every 10 years and they're good.
I've been having a real problem lately where it's like I can't get my hands on a multiplayer game that I have a lot of fun playing. Right? It's like I enjoy playing Battlefield with my friends. I enjoy playing Fortnite with my friends. And I would say Fortnite is a good game, but I've always bounced off hard because it's not a game for me.
Yeah.
It's like all the games that I have that I can play with people with is like it's not games that I enjoy playing.
Sure.
Or it's let me put it this way. There's also this is going to be very gamer brained, everybody. But sometimes you just have to play a game that you feel that you're good at, right? And it's
I understand.
And it's like all of these games are games that I can do fine with. I can get good points and stuff, but it's like I don't feel like I'm good at it. Gundam Battle Operations 2 is a horrible game, and don't play it. But I'm good at that game because it's very slow paced and you have very long times to kill. And those are the games that I do better at. It's why I sucked at Call of Duty, but did good at Halo. And so that's why I could hold my own decently in Splitgate. It's because it's like most of the time, unless there's like a sniper or a shotgun involved, you're not going to turn a corner and get blasted. You're going to turn a corner, go, oh crap, my health is at half, but it still have an opportunity to react. And it's like I just don't. And it's not that these games don't exist. It's like I just don't have any games that are still like fairly active in the community that I have access to that I know that I like playing that I just can't right now. So that's something that I've been struggling with for like
Oh god.
I guess since I got done playing Borderlands 3 with my friends, where it's like, well, what am I going to do now? It's like, what am I going to play on my own time? Because I'm kind of in a rut right now. I need to finish up Persona. I need to...
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
I need to probably start playing, like, Yakuza again. But it's like... the whole appeal of, like, Call of Duty is just, like, mindless, I want to get some matches in kind of energy. It's like, I'm trying to get some kills, man. But it's like, I'm just...
What is going on? Awesome. Alan, why did you write it like this?
But it's like... That's kind of the problem that I've been running into right now. Is it's like I'm having a hard time finding a game that I can just like hop on and play a little bit of and have a good time.
Sure. I understand completely. I have this problem a lot with like that would actually stop me from playing other games, is that I would be too defaulted to that sort of game. Like I wouldn't proceed with like actually playing like a good game because I'm like, I don't have time to play a good game. I need to play something that I can play for an hour and not think about too much.
Exactly.
Recently I've tried to find like games I can play in that way that are a little bit more interesting. But no, I mean, I completely understand what you're talking about, because I've also gone through those periods where I don't have that, and it's like, well, I guess I'm not really going to play video games right now because I don't have time to play a big RPG or whatever.
Yeah.
Damn it, I really don't want these things to kill me. I really don't want to be killed by prop hunt.
What the hell?
There's more! Alan!
You got a perfect parium, Jacob.
Alan, stop doing this. Shit.
Damn. You got to pull out your knife.
Shayla said because it's Gundam. I don't know if that was in response to Joey being good at a game or a game sucking because it's related to Gundam. I'm going to guess...
It's probably sucking,
I'm going to guess sucking.
Because, like, yeah. Gundam runs into a problem that you see occasionally with stuff like it and, like, Warhammer and whatnot, where it's, like, it's a big IP that has $1 million budget, like, in the overall sphere, but the games just aren't that good. Fate's the same way, where it's, like, most of these games are just mid or not that great.
Shayla, people play games casually because they aren't binging anime. Just saying.
I don't think I've played a good
Ow!
I don't think I've played a good Gundam game, actually, now that I think about it. The best,
there might not be one.
There might not, but people will tell you there are, but they're Gundam fans. So
yeah, exactly.
There was, I remember, remember when Walmart used to have demo kiosks for games that were 1 million miles up in the air and you had to really, like, break your neck to watch it?
Yeah. Well, that was because you were a small child.
Exactly. I'm aware. But there was some.
Now they would still be like that for me just because I'm short.
There was some Gundam Muso game there that I played, and I was like blown away by it. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Never found out what that was though. That was a fun game, but it's like I don't know if it was good.
It was fun to play in Walmart.
Gundam Battle Operations 2 sucks, and Gundam Evo. Well, Gundam Evo is so bad that it's dead. But it also was kind of fun, but kind of not.
I'm reminded of the only distinct memory I have of playing something on one of those kiosks was playing the first level of Star Fox, not Temperatures, Star Fox Assault.
Oh yeah.
Could not remember the name of it for a second.
I want to play that again.
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah, the last Star Fox game.
Yeah. I never owned it, but I
own the strategy guide for it.
Yeah, I do. I own the strategy guide for it, which is also, I think every time I bring it up, I have to mention the fact that the strategy guide is wrong. It's wrong. It's fake.
Do you know, have I ever told you about the FF9 strategy guide?
No.
The official FF9 strategy guide is the worst strategy guide ever made by like a huge margin. And it is not because it contains incorrect information. Though it does contain incorrect information. That's just a bonus to what makes it suck.
Yeah, okay.
I do not have a flare gun,
well,
so I will simply use this.
You're fighting that one boss from Yakuza 7.
It's true. Oh, that she's mentioning Yakuza 7. Is that the first?
Like a Dragon. That's the turn-based.
That's the first turn-based one. Okay, now that reminded me of something with the new one, but I'll get back to that in a second. God, what was I gonna say? Shit. I was talking about FF9. So that was when Square was really trying to push their Play Online initiative, which is their integrated launcher for FF11 and their website, because the .com bubble, and somehow if people go to our website, we'll make money, right?
Yeah.
If people get Square accounts, somehow that will equal profit, I think?
Woo!
I think? So one of the items was basically you buy the FF9 strategy guide, right?
Yes.
And it does not contain the information you want about what you need to do. It contains go to Play Online and punch in this code.
Really?
To bring up the page about how to defeat this boss.
Is that a car?
It is awesome. A car. It's a monster truck. Literally.
Dude,
get it?
Dude, that is rad. That reminds me of maybe I'm getting some of this wrong, but that reminds me of not a strategy.
This is a good video game.
This is a good video game. Not a strat. What, did your car just break? What is that noise?
Oh, it's not dead. So its wheels are just spinning.
Oh my god. Okay. But
see ya.
It's not one of those, but Destiny 1, right? Original ass Destiny. There was the lore of that game was so funny because the game didn't explain or tell you much, but legitimately you would hit things where it's like, so there's a mention of, we'll say like the Black Rose or something random like that, and it's like, okay, I want to know more information about this, and it would be like, okay, here's a link, go to this website to read the lore document. And it's like that was in game. I'm like, what the hell? It's like you couldn't click on it in game either. You had to open it up on another browser. Dude, it's the most baffling way to go about it.
I'm not gonna be able to go into full detail about this, but you may have even heard it talked about recently on the the Castle Super Beast podcast. Danny Trejo has a contractual stipulation that if he plays a villain in a movie, he has to lose and be embarrassed because he doesn't want kids. Because he wants kids to learn that crime doesn't pay.
Yes.
Now, part of this is because I'm not going to talk about it in detail. I'm just going to say, folks, if you got some time later, pop open Danny Trejo's Wikipedia page and just read about his life.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. I mean, I guess maybe that's not fair. It's not so much that his life is crazy. It's more just about like the continual sequence of events and then the guy that he becomes because of it is just really interesting. But specifically, he did a lot of bad stuff when he was younger.
There's ammo over there, Jacob. Keep going. Go.
He did a lot of bad stuff when he was younger, and he wished he hadn't done it. and he's like, even though he's an actor, I mean, even before he was an actor, and he still continues to do like drug rehabilitation outreach and help people getting over addiction and stuff like that. But if he loses in a movie, if he's a bad guy in a movie, he has to lose and something embarrassing has to happen to him. That's why in Breaking Bad, when he dies, he's got a head on a tortoise that explodes. He plays a villain in Yakuza Infinite Wealth, and when he is...
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, baby.
He and... oh god, I forget the actor's name. He's the guy. He was recently got internet fame because he's Dr. Han in I'm a Surgeon.
Oh,
but he's been in all kinds of stuff. I forget his name. Actually, he's a really great actor, and I'm upset that I can't remember his name right now. But both of them are in it as villains. Danny Trejo's villain, when he is beaten, he pisses his pants, and the party films him on their phones and point and laugh at him.
Awesome.
All right, I need to step away for 1 second. Joey, I'm going to let you run the game again for a moment because Aiden's here.
I see.
We're gonna wrap the stream here. I think we'll have to conclude Alan Wake another day.
Damn. All right, we're gonna have to pull a Attack on Titan, baby.
Attack on Titan finale part 2. But I'll be back in 1 second. Just
all right.
Say adios to the people since this is kind of sudden, and I'll be right back.
All right, everybody. Sorry.
Sorry, gang.
Sorry. That's. Listen, this is how things happen, okay? You get these things in your mind, you're like, I can do this. And it's very easy to do that with video games. You don't really learn that until you are Let's Playing in a sort of sense where you're just like, it's like, oh man, that game is like, it's so short. It's like, well, we can just do this in like a sitting or whatever. And then you actually go and you play the game and you're like, ooh, I forgot about this entire sequence. Ooh, oh, this is actually... I'm not as good at this as I think I am. And it's like, oh man, when I was a kid, I could just get through this. I was like, I don't have the tech anymore that I used to. So it is what it is. But I mean, at this point, you guys shouldn't really be surprised by us being like this. Not a technical difficulty though, but it's a technical difficulty adjacent. We haven't had any technical difficulties today, so... We're just gonna say it's a adjacent. It's there, much like in Alan Wake. These things have to adhere to a certain rule set. It's like there always has to be some sort of difficulty on the channel, or it's not a real Frustrated Jacob / research run experience, I suppose. But you know what? You're used to it by now, I hope. And if you're not, I'm sorry. We've had to grow used to it, but it is what it is. We're just trying to get through this. We're gonna get through this before he's gone, I'm sure. But I hear them opening the door again. But anyway, I don't know if we're shutting it down now or not. But I appreciate you guys coming by to join us on our journey. Joey,
what are you doing tomorrow?
What am I doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Maybe getting together and playing a game called Munchkins with people, but maybe not. We haven't confirmed that.
Munchkins?
Yeah, if you've ever been to like a Barnes & Noble or something, you see these little stupid cards, and you're like, these look stupid. It's called Munchkins. Okay. And I was like, this is stupid. And then...
That doesn't narrow the field of cards that I think look stupid.
It doesn't, but I'm like, it's actually, this was, fun fact, Munchkins was made by the guy. Did you ever hear the thing about the card game that predicted 9/11?
No,
so anyway,
tell me about the card game that predicted 9/11.
Well, it's just, there was I forget his name, but the guy that made Munchkins, he made a game called Illuminati something back in like the 80s, and there's a bunch of like, did you know this card game predicted this historical event? Mm-hmm. And it's like, some of the stuff, it's like, whatever. But then you have, I think it was called like, the card's called Terrorist Nuke, but it's not a nuke, it just depicts like the top of like a building exploding, but not the top, like actual, like the windows, like midway. And I was like, why do you call it that? And all that. And it's like, it's not a real prediction, but that's what the sensational headline is. Anyway, he made that. Munchkins is like a...
Much like how Lord of the Rings The Two Towers needed to have its title changed because it was insensitive.
Of course.
You remember that controversy?
No, I don't.
No, when that came out, there were, they
were like, you can't do that.
What's the newsroom quote? The Family Foundation for the Foundation of Families got really upset about how this is really insensitive, that this movie that is coming out in 2002 is called The Two Towers because it's based on a book that came out in the 50s.
That's crazy.
Called The Two Towers.
But yeah, anyway, it's a fun, it's a game. I was like, this is stupid, and I'm never gonna play this. And then they're like, well, we're playing it, and I'm like, wow, this game's really fun. Who would have guessed? So who knows? I might be available tomorrow. I might not.
We'll see. I was just thinking because there's barely an hour left.
Yeah,
so
it's almost over.
Time, but we could even finish it, after work on a weekday or something. That's true. Halfway. But I saw Shayla a second ago. I think she deleted it to just as a precautionary thing in case I wasn't cool with her commenting it. But it's okay. Because before I went to, because I've mentioned not in anything that's come out, but I talked about it in the FF7 playthrough, one of the last episodes, that I went to the Honesty Film Festival with my friend Shayla, and as a thank you gift for getting my ass out of the house and then out of the country, when she had a little bit of free time, I paid for a copy of FF9 for her to play. She was asking for recommendations, and I said I think you might like that.
That's a game we'll finish in like 7 years.
Accidentally, actually, says Shayla. But no, I was just going to say her comment was, Jacob expected it to take me a month. It took me 5 days because Shayla's very focused. To be fair, I think you dedicated full days to doing nothing but that. I figured you would be working a little bit in there. Because I don't do that. I don't spend full days on games unless it's FF7 Rebirth just came out and I've set aside time to spend on it.
Well, after you move, maybe you can I
could be working more.
You could be, but you could also dedicate. It's I'm taking a mental health weekend to just blitz through a game.
I don't know.
You could do it.
I could do that. I can't even, Joey. I can't even take a mental health weekend to edit Let's Plays, which doesn't sound like good mental health rejuvenation. But actually, it's like hanging out with my friends who aren't actually here. It's because I get to listen and remember that time that I had fun with my friends.
Okay.
And it doesn't feel like I'm sitting alone in a room staring at a computer for hours.
It's like that. It's like that image I see where it's like listening to a podcast be like, and it's a guy, it's a poster of people laughing, and it's a guy sitting there with a bowl of soup laughing beside them.
Okay, that's gonna be it for the evening.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out. I really thought we had less Alan Wake than we did. I thought that chapter was a straight shot to the end. I totally forgot.
After you left, that's what I was telling everybody. Yeah. I was like, you see it a lot when you're doing Let's Playing, but you can, in your mind, you're thinking about a game, you're like, oh man, that segment's 3 hours long. It's I can do that, whatever. And then you start playing, you're like, oh, I forgot about this entire part.
Yeah, I thought
I remembered the fun stuff.
I thought we were in the well-lit room immediately, and then it went to what we just started. I forgot that there was 2 hours to get there.
We'll finish it up.
Yeah,
before you move,
and then we won't play Alan Wake 2 or Control like I said we would.
Well, you never know.
All right, adios, everyone.
See you guys.